by way of Yahushua HaMashiach this day, John 5:39. So go ahead, man.
Search the scriptures, for in me think ye have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim mean. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another should come in his own name, him you will receive. How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For if ye have believed Moses, you have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I go back to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7.
It says, and Yahuah Elohim formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into the nostrils the ruach of life, and man became a living Nephi.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put a man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahuah Elohim to
We stop
grow.
right there. He put the man there where he was formed. Now we dealt with punishing the host. So with that being said, we need to go to Ezekiel 28:12. So we dealt with Satan and why he and him and his crew got pushed out. Came back to deal with us being the sons of God because we had to deal with Psalms 82 to see why Satan got pushed out. Then turn around and see that the same thing occurred in the flesh, and it boiled down to one key thing, whether it was in heaven or whether it was on the earth, that these men did not want to bow down and worship the Son of the living Elohim. That's the bottom line. That's all it is to it. And anybody, that's why he tell you anybody that commits sin is of the devil, because when you don't want to humble yourself to serve the Son of the living Elohim, then you ain't no different than the devil in heaven. You gonna sit back and look at him and say just what Satan said when he saw him. If thou be the Son of Elohim, because you don't really believe it. If you believed it, you'll humble yourself unto it. The text says that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And we notice that one thing that Satan did not do, that all those other unclean spirits did, is they confessed. Satan refused to. He will at the last, though. If you don't want to confess him now, you will. You may not do it now, but you will do it later. Very well then. And confessing ain't just talking about, oh, I believe. Because he said if you say that you know him and in your works you deny him, then you didn't confess him. Very well then. Ezekiel 28:12.
It says, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus.
Take up a what?
A lamentation.
Y'all know what a lamentation is, don't you? Very well. Continue. Wailing, sorrow, crying, mourning.
And say unto him,
Say what to him?
thus says Yahuah Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
thou sealest up the song, full of wisdom,
He did what?
seal up the song,
Seal up the sum.
full of wisdom and perfect in beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Elohim. Every precious stone was thy covering, and the sardis and topaz and the diamond,
And what else?
the beryl and the onyx and the jasper,
Mm-hmm.
the sapphire, the emerald and the carbuncle, the gold and the workmanship of thy tabrets, and of the pipes.
And the what?
The pipes
Mm-hmm.
were prepared in thee in that day that thou was created.
What he finna call him? Go ahead.
Thou art the anointed cherub.
You're what?
The anointed cherub.
You what?
That covered.
That what?
That covered.
Go ahead.
And I have set thee so.
If he said him so, go ahead.
Thou was upon the Kadash mountain of Elohim.
Uh-huh.
Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of stones of fire.
What else?
Thou was perfect in thy ways.
You were what?
Perfect in thy ways.
From when?
From the day that thou was created.
Till what?
Until iniquity was found in thee.
Who this talking about, Nisha? You know who this talking about? You know who this talking about, Monte? You know who this talking about? $28. You know who this talking about? You know who this talking about? Who it talking about? How you know that? How you know that?
Genesis 3.
How you know that? I'm asking you this is the same way if you just opened your mouth and you told me that. How do you know that?
Because he was there.
I want you to approach it as if you had to literally show somebody that. If you was telling me that's Yahushua, how do you know that?
I say that.
I come back to you while you mull it over. Who is this, Zach? Who is this, Johnny? Who is this, Darius? How do you know this? Mm-hmm. I'll come back to you. You know who this is, Jughead Jones? You know who this is, Deidre? What about you, Shayla? What we just read. You know who this is?
I see who should be.
How you know this?
When he say he was perfect in beauty,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about he was set upon the Kadash mountain of Elohim and walked up and down in the midst of stone fire.
Remember, I'm asking y'all this, how do you know this? Because I want you to be able to prove it. If you're not able to prove it, then just say, I can't prove it. I know who this is, but right now I can't prove it. Because I want you to be able to prove it. Meaning, I want you to know why you believe that.
And when they say he was perfect, until iniquity was found in me, that's when he came down.
Very well then. Y'all know who people say this is? They say that's the devil. First question I want to ask y'all is, Zach, what is a cherub? What is a cherub? Yes, it is. You want to know, baby. You got to trust your instincts. Do you know what a cherub is? A cherub. It's an angel that happens to have wings like you mentioned. Does anybody know where the cherub be at? That's what's on the Ark of the Covenant. That cover that. So he called him an anointed cherub. So it's not Mashiach. That's a different word. So how many of y'all think Yah would anoint the devil? But then he said he's the anointed cherub that does what? So what would he be covering? Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis 3 and 9. What did we discuss last night? Who the only people allowed to dwell in the Garden of Eden?
Son of Elohim.
If you're not a son of Elohim, you can't dwell there. You can't live there. It's the only way you're going to get in. So we taking the track going from the original Garden of Eden to Jerusalem being made like the Garden of Eden, and the only people who will dwell in the second garden. Remember, if it's the first Adam, it's going to be a second Adam. If it's the first garden, it's going to be a second garden. The second garden is going to be drastically different from the first. Go ahead.
It said, and Yahuah Elohim called unto Adam and said, Where art thou? And he said, I hear thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked.
Because you were what?
I was naked.
You were what?
I was naked.
Why is he naked? Because of his sins. Go ahead.
And I hid myself. And he said,
He did what?
He hid himself.
I would everybody like to do when they sin, don't you? Like to go hide, don't you? Act like you ain't did nothing because you're shamed. Ought to be shamed. You notice ain't nobody shamed till y'all step to him. Go ahead.
And he said, Mark.
He gonna bust his chin one day. I'm gonna die laughing at him.
He said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Mm-hmm.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuah Elohim said unto the woman, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuah Elohim said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Good.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman. And
Well, that's good. That's good, right? He made something for him. What did he make for them? What did he make it from? That book don't tell you he made no leaves. They ain't tell you he made no fig leaves. That's what you seen on television. That ain't what the book say.
we didn't read that though.
I know it. I stopped. It was too much in between before I got to it. I want to see who know what he put on. He ain't even mention no animal. Yeah, he said he put a coat of skins on him. He didn't tell you what kind of animal it was. Yeah, that fig leaf, I don't know where they got that from. They ain't get it from them.
No, that's what they put on. They put on figs.
Yeah, I ain't talking. I'm talking about what y'all put on. I don't care what they put on. That's a very good question. Who knows what that is? You know what that is, Jughead John? Coat of skin. Read the verse for him. Read what they put on, then read what y'all put on. The reason why I threw y'all off with that because he said he the anointed cherub that cover. So I don't care what they put on.
They put on figs at verse 7.
Yeah, they did that.
So this after they ate at verse 7. He say, and the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewn fig leaves together.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Why you think they want to show you fig leaves versus what y'all put on them? Read what y'all put on them. See, the reason why I did it, because I don't even acknowledge the fig leaves. You're probably about verse 19, maybe about verse 20, actually. He run down them curses,
He
what?
said 20. It's saying Adam called his wife Eve because she was the mother of all living, and Adam also and his wife did Yahuah make coats of skin and clothed them.
Who clothed them? Yahuah clothed them. That's why I only. Now, why do you think they focus on them having on fig leaves versus that Yah made them a coat of skin to put on them to cover them? Why do you think they focused on what man did versus what Yah did? No, I just told you. What do men do when they cover up their sins? You try to do what? You try to cover it up. You know what this is? Go on, get me Romans 10, man. This what this is. 10 and 1. This what this is. This is why they always show you the fig leaves and never show you that Yah made a garment for them.
It says, brother, my heart desire and prayer to Elohim for Yahshua that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Elohim, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of Elohim's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the
That's why they like to show you
them.
That's why they like to show you them fig leaves, because they did that themselves. You know what I'm saying? They done saying, let me cover myself up and do it how I want to do it. That what you ain't never, y'all ain't even, it ain't even click in your mind that y'all put a coat of skins on them. Only thing you thought about it, the fig leaves. Because that's how you've been living your whole life, doing what you want to do and justifying yourself in your works. That's how they want you to think. Give me Luke 16 and 8. I said, I ain't going to tell you, the fig leaf ain't crossed my mind. I was thinking about the coat of skins the whole time. Because Yah made it. And we're going to sit back and look at that. We talked about that last night. It said that Yahuah formed the man in the garden, right? He made that man. So he made you something to cover you because he's the anointed cherub that cover. I came to cover you. What is the cherub doing on the Ark of the Covenant? It's covering what? The throne. That's why you don't need the Ark of the Covenant no more, because the cherubs ain't got to cover the throne no more. Mashiach's been revealed. There's no need for me to cover the throne. This is why he take it away. But instead of thinking about them fig leaves, you need to think about, you see like this here, right? That's you trying to make a covering with your own spirit. It's a spot somewhere in the Chronicles of Kings that mention that, or maybe the book of Hosea, but it escapes me at the present time. Versus seeking for Yah to cover your sins. That's how the whole world live right now. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of people right now today, maybe even tomorrow, gonna walk in a little booth with a little pedophile and say, "Father, I have sinned." Do you know what I'm saying? And I ain't being funny, because shoot, any group, any organization that instruct their teachers and leaders not to get married, the likelihood of them being a sexual deviant of some sort is very high, because you're suppressing the natural inclination of a man. Your natural inclination of a man is to spread his seed. Not spread his seed to multiple women, but to spread his seed, to drop seed. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why the man around there touching on people. He ain't just on no Satanist stuff. This man ain't touched a woman in 20, 30 years. All around a small children every day. He already wicked on top of it. What you think he gonna do? They dealing with Satanism with their religion, so what you think he gonna do? Y'all ever seen somebody do that before? Go in there and say, "Father, I sin." You ever been to Catholic church? Jump freak you out.
Sit down. That's why you need to go sit down.
Jump freak you out. Them people weird, man. Got some weird stuff in there, man. No, they got idols everywhere.
All right, go sit down.
Yeah, they got idols everywhere. Any idol you can think of, they got one. Big statues, candles with people on them, people painted on the glass, white men walk around chanting with smoke burning, praying to the Virgin Mary. Go ahead, man. What you got? Luke 16 and 8. It might be just straight to 10, though. Just get it straight to 10.
He that is faithful.
No, that ain't what I want. It might have been 8. I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute. Oh, it's 16 and 14.
And the 16 and 14 of Luke. It says, the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men.
Yeah, what?
Ye are these that justify yourselves before men.
That's what that fig leaf was them justifying themselves.
But Elohim knoweth your heart, for that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of Elohim.
So with that being read, what's the difference between the fig leaves and the coat of skins? Or that's Yah covering yours. See, they took the fig leaf to cover their sin. So you were seeking to justify yourself to cover up your own sin. It kind of go what we read in John 9:37 last night. He says, if you were blind, you would have no sin. But since you say you see, your sin remain. Because when they threw that fig leaf on, they acknowledged, we see. I knew full well what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? If you were blind, you wouldn't even have to do that. But what it really is, one is pride, and one is you're going to have to humble yourself under Elohim for him to cover your sin. Notice that he took a coat of skins. What is usually a coat of skins, what skin is it coming from? It's coming from a what? An animal. Do you know what I'm saying? So an animal has been killed and sacrificed to cover your sins. Let's go to Revelation 16 and 15. So this right here is the first instance where you see Yah forgiving and covering sin.
He said, Behold, I come as a thief. Baruch is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Now notice this is the anointed chair that covers. So let's take ourselves to John chapter 1, verse 17, I suppose. And he said he was on the Kadesh mountain. He walked up and down in the stones of fire. Perfect in thy ways from the day that thou were created. What's the word for perfect? You got that Tamaim. So he was complete, he was whole, he was sound, he was innocent from the day. So how was iniquity found? See, everybody say, see, that's Satan. But we've already established Satan's sin was the pride that he didn't want to serve a Mashiach. He didn't want to serve the son of the living Elohim. He didn't want to do that. So the iniquity wasn't found in Satan, nor was iniquity found in Yahushua, what he's speaking of. We just read who the iniquity was found in. It was found in Adam. That's who it was found in. The same way that iniquity was not found in the nations, it wasn't found in the Zidonians or the Hittites or the Perizzites or the Jebusites. The iniquity was found in Yasharal. So therefore, I got to boot you out the garden just like I got to boot Adam out the garden. I can kick you out too. But I got to come up with a plan to allow you to come back to this garden, because this is how I wanted my creation to dwell in front of Jump Street. So the plan was in place for you to be sanctified, to call yourself the son of Elohim. Continue.
John chapter 1, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua Mashiach. No man hath seen Elohim at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. And this is the record of John, when the Yahudim sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou? And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Mashiach. And they asked him, What then? Art thou Elias? And he said, I am not. He said, Art thou that prophet? He answered, No. Then said they unto him, Who art thou? That we may give an answer to them that sent us. What sayest thou of thyself? And he said, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness, make straight the way of Yahuah. And said the prophet Isaiah. And they which were sent of the Pharisees, and they asked him and said unto him, Why baptizest thou then if thou not be the Mashiach, neither Elias, neither that prophet?
What did John the Baptist do to Mashiach?
He baptized.
So he anointed him, right? Well, after he got baptized, what happened? The Ruach came down on him. Continue. Because that's not in this account. We read in this for something else.
John answered him, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is, whose coming after me is preferred before me, whose shoe latchet I am not worthy to unloose. These things were done in Beth Arbor, which was beyond Jordan, where John was baptized. The next day John sees Yahushua coming to him and said, Behold the Lamb of Elohim, which taketh away the sins of the world.
If he take it away, what he going to be doing with it then?
Covered.
He going to be covering it. So he's been the one anointed to do this. Notice that he called him a what?
Lamb.
People usually wear a lamb's clothing, don't it? Or lamb's wool or lamb skin or some of that type of stuff. Some of you nasty niggas probably bought you some lamb skin one time or two in your younger days. But
I don't think they got it.
yeah, clearly. Johnny must have did. He done bought him some. You done bought you one? Yeah, you look like you the only one knew what I was talking about. You don't know what that is, Jughead Jones? Yeah, you look like, because you liked it raw, like old dirty bastard. Those, they've got condoms made out of lamb skin. You didn't know that? Oh.
Only people buying them is people allergic to latex and like to experiment.
Yeah, that nigga like the child down Bareback Avenue, so it didn't matter for her.
One of these.
Who does that the landing? Avenue. You sit there, you think about it for a moment. And you really think about it. We're going to move on, because clearly you underage. That's how your son got here, because you traveled down that avenue.
That is right.
Lord have mercy. Those people really kept you locked in the house behind them burglar bars, didn't they? Lying, because you had a key to them burglar bars.
No, I didn't hide it. It didn't have a key.
You ain't never seen no burglar bar with no key to it? Yeah, they definitely got something. Yeah, you got a key where you could swing them off, take them off. Screw a breed, boy. I ain't want to be in no house with no burglar bar. That house catch on fire, everybody dead. Ain't stopped now nigga from breaking in your house. And every nigga who got burglar bars on their house, ain't nobody trying to break in your house. If you're going to have anything, to have a burglar bar, though. If a nigga climb through the window, he deserve anything he can steal out of them. For real, but you know how much work it is to climb through a window? I know you know.
I don't climb through windows.
Mm-hmm. You was the lookout on the burglary team.
No, I didn't. It was in the back room, so I wasn't gonna look at
So you was a burglar.
it. No, I was in the back.
So you acknowledging the felony commissions.
Can we go back?
Yeah, because I don't want you to go to jail. This guy, I don't know if your statute of limitations up. But come on, man. Where you at?
You want the?
Keep going.
31.
Go and give me 31. You seen something interesting? Go ahead and read.
It said, and I knew him not, but that he should be made manifest to Yasharal. Therefore I am come baptizing with water. And John bear record, saying, I saw the Ruach descending from Shamahim like a dove, and it abode upon him.
It dwelt on it. So this is the anointed cherub that cover. Now come on back to verse 16 of Ezekiel 28. Remember it said to take up a lamentation. Paul, let me ask you a question. All these precious stones that's mentioned in verse 13. Does anybody know what those precious stones are? Why are these precious stones mentioned?
Same ones in Revelation.
The same ones in Revelation that's going to be in the kingdom itself. You can read Revelation 21 for you on your own time for you to see that, because we don't have time to read that right now. All of them ain't. Only one I think that's not mentioned in Revelation 21 is the diamond, because diamonds are really not that precious. Not like they done told you they is. Gemstones are more precious than a diamond is.
When he was born in Matthew 1,
They brought frankincense and myrrh. They brought spices.
they ain't bring no jewels.
They brought money. Gold, if I'm not mistaken. He can double check that for you. Double check that for us. So, Matthew chapter 1. For you know, spices were in ancient times were of very high value than they are now. Ain't nobody finna pay no whole bunch of money for no aloe, no frankincense, or no myrrh. But if you had a lot of it back then, you had you some cake.
They fell down to worship him. They opened their treasures and they presented them gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Little gold. That's what that was real wealth at that time. Besides cattle. Do you know what I'm saying? The more cattle you had, the more wealthier you were. That's why during slavery, the more slaves you had, the more wealthier you were, because the slaves were considered to be cattle. You know what I'm saying? Now it's however many debt notes you can accumulate. You're supposed to be rich when you really don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? That nigga be calling my phone all the time. I'm tired of working for these debt notes. Yeah, I bet you is, but you're going to work tomorrow, so don't call my phone with it. Dead serious though. I told the nigga that, man. The most disgusting thing in the world is to see a grown man who complains regularly. You know what I'm saying? Go and get you some Tampax, man. Get you some Midol, all that. Dead serious though. Men are supposed to, I don't care, a woman too, like you ain't supposed to complain. You supposed to, number one, y'all hates murmurers and complainers. For one, that's what got niggas killed in the wilderness. But if you don't have a solution to the problem, complaining about it ain't gonna do nothing about it. Nigga, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Keep that junk over there to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have a problem and you saying, hey man, this junk really bothering me, and you trying to actively come up with a solution that possibly you couldn't come up with on your own, that's a whole total different scenario than to call, man, I'm tired of going to work every day. Well, nigga, what you gonna do about it? Go to work tomorrow? Don't call my phone with that then. Dead serious. Like if you, at the end of the day, man, I tell this nigga that all the time. I tell y'all the same. Don't nobody have power over your life to stop you from doing nothing besides y'all. You know what I'm saying? But a natural human being can't stop you from doing nothing. And he was like, you know, we know the cracker got the system rigged, but shoot, a cracker can't stop you from doing nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? You just don't want to do it, and you just use that cracker as the reason to say why you can't do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Just say I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But all that complaining as a man, no, that's not cool. I don't think any one of you women would want to be married to a nigga who sit and complain all day. I hate my life. Well, shoot, I hate it too. Take this 9mm and do something about it. Like, who would want to get up every day and hear you? This is supposed to be the strength and the leader of the household. Who want to hear that from him every day? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you're in an organization and the organization head is always complaining, what do you think that's going to do to the morale of the whole organization? Do you know what I'm saying? Look at what that did when they was in the wilderness and them dudes was doing all that complaining, and look what it did to the morale of the people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't that strong. See, that's the part that we don't be looking at. Everybody ain't that strong. Some people can hear somebody complaining and ignore it, and then that junk could permeate like a disease. Why you think he told you to get the evil from among you? If you got caught sinning, go on, kill him and get him from around here. Because guess what? You see one of your little hot little friends doing something, y'all look at it as now you might be influenced to do it because your hot little friends around here being fast. Or your little friends around here smoking a little weed, breaking in people's houses, and you sitting there watching them, and you might be influenced to do it. So what do y'all say do? Kill him in front of everybody so everybody can see it, so everybody will fear, and then that evil be removed from among you, and so that everybody turn around and look at it and say, you know what? I don't want to go out like that little hot little girl from over there on such and such. That you know it's a consequence for your actions. It is what it is. We don't really, I done told you that before. How many of y'all feel like y'all have been negatively influenced by a multitude of people in your youth? That you went and did something that you wouldn't have done otherwise?
I got exposed to some things.
I ain't talking about what you were going to do anyway. I'm talking about the people usually, because if you would say you were going to do it anyway, then you probably would, and that just was your excuse to make yourself feel better about letting them niggas influence you to go do something you know you ain't had no business. Because because one, when you show that a person can influence you to do something that you wouldn't normally do, you show yourself to be weak-minded.
It's all about it's all about who influenced you. If you influenced by somebody that you trust and care about, it's easy to be influenced by. You've been influenced by somebody you don't know at all.
Shoot, I'm talking about people you know. When I say weak-minded, doesn't mean you're a weak-minded individual. At that moment in time, you were a weak-minded individual because you allowed someone to influence you against your better judgment. And at that position, you in a weak state. You weak-minded. Being called weak-minded is not what's the word I'm looking for? That's not a negative thing. You look at when Satan came with Yahuah, he came to catch him when he was weak. That's when you most likely to be influenced. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a weak state and somebody influenced you, I'm not talking about influence you and you just didn't know and you experimenting. I'm talking about you know this is wrong, this is against your better judgment, and you allow the individual to entice you to do something, to influence you to do something that you knew you ain't had no business doing. Do you know what I'm saying? That's different if you're naive and you don't know. You just a lame nigga got you. You know what I'm saying? That happens. You know what I'm talking about? That happens. I can't hold nobody accountable for something you just were lame. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about lame like you a square. We talking about lame like you don't know the game. You green. You know what I'm saying? You a rookie. You gonna get got. You done jumped out there somewhere you ain't had no business. You should have stayed in the house. That's what happened. Like, ain't nobody influenced me to sell no crack. Yeah, my homeboy came and said, boy, you need to go get you some money. I'm already broken poor. I'm already contemplating. I was already selling weed. I just came home from selling weed. I'm trying to flip products here. I think I get some more money selling rock. You know what I'm saying? This weed getting some money, but boy, a lot of junkies around here, boy. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time we robbed, me and my homeboy, he was like, I pulled his card though, because I know that nigga wasn't with that rob. I was with it if he was with it, but I wasn't on that type of time neither. You know what I'm saying? But if he wanted to go climb through this nigga window and hit this nigga for his dope and his money, we could go hit it. Just because it was him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, boy, we go hit that nigga. I said, well, shoot, nigga, what's happening? What you want to do? The pistol in the back. That nigga said, nah, boy, you pulled my card on that one, boy. I said, yeah. Yeah, shoot, I was broke too. Like, we had some money, but we could have used some more. Oh, we could use some more. Sure, we that young, boy, you ain't care. Sure. It was a weed dude, man. They had probably about 10, 15 pound weed in the house. At least good 10, 20 grand, maybe a little bit more than that. Sure, we climb in there, hit him, and be gone. Ain't nobody gonna suspect me of doing it. Nigga, I don't steal. I sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all done probably got convinced you should lay with somebody you know you ain't had no business laying with. He done talked you out of it. She slid you a couple Miller High Lifes, black them out, you ready to go. Some of y'all were probably sipping Paul Masson. Monte probably got you a couple times on that Paul, didn't it? Look at say that thing. But that boy ain't even make no nothing. Right. Get you with that Paul. That Paul, shoot. Monte said that Paul made them panties fall.
Nah, he just did that one.
That's how you feel. Look at you. He had you sitting out here too. You like to say, you know I can't drink none of this. I don't know how to act. Take two up. That's what she was doing. Come on, man. No, seriously, all serious though. How many of y'all let somebody influence you to do something against your better judgment? Nah, but nigga ain't never get me, boy. Only reason being cause once I said no, I wouldn't care how many times you asked me. I wouldn't care how you framed it. My answer is no. And this is gonna be no, and it could be blank no. You know what I'm saying? This no. Don't ask me no more. Matter of fact, I will become to be enraged if you continue asking me and I done told you no.
I get what you're saying. I want to look at it like that.
You know what I'm saying?
You saying that somebody's mind was made up for something.
Yeah.
And you got
Like, what if your mind was made up? What's like, oh,
it ain't the
this
same.
is at Walmart.
He's saying if it's your mind was made up on something, you
Like,
let somebody
like you know this
you let
wrong.
somebody change your mind on something you know that you weren't gonna do.
No. I ain't finna no. I told you about that time that white boy told me, you want some coke? I don't snort coke, cuz I'm good. You want to hit? You want to hit? I said, boy, you offer me that bill one more time, boy, you gonna be snorting that coat off the carpet. You know what I'm saying? Cause I told you no the first time, cuz I don't snort cocaine. But guess what though? Some people on that third one, they might be like, you know what? Go ahead, let me get a bump.
For real though.
You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of people go on hit the blunt, bruh. Go on hit the blunt, bruh. Some of y'all been that nigga kept offering a nigga the blunt who told you no.
I wasn't like that.
Shoot, I definitely wasn't like that. You don't want to smoke
This
it?
is my reason. I'm gonna ask you one time out of courtesy. I ain't finna keep offering you this.
How many of y'all done like this here? Go on get you some of this liquor, man. But I ain't drinking tonight. Go on get you some of this liquor, man. You know what I'm saying? You hadn't already had it in your mind when you left the house. I ain't drinking tonight. Go on ahead, get you this liquor, man. Little cup ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah. I ain't never got did like that, but yeah, that's how niggas get dead.
You know what I'm saying? That's how people do it. Some of y'all came to some of them young women in your lifetime. Man, when you gonna let me? I was just watching Boys in the Hood, so that's why I'm finna say this here. When you gonna let me get them skins? Steady coming.
Throwing all niggas shirt off in that drum. Like, man, you think
You know what I'm saying? It happened a lot. Well, you got it in your mind, this what you gonna do, and you let a nigga push you up off of that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga can't put, boy, I mean what I say, boy. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? If I'd have made my mind up, it's different. I ain't made my mind up.
Shut the door, Mar.
Yeah, that's what he kept saying. We ain't gonna let me get them skins. Trey, this your mama. Yeah, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I mention that, because in the book of Proverbs, they tell you, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. That's why I mention that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say resist the devil and he'll flee from you. That's why I referenced when he stepped up my shot, he was in a weak state. And when you gotta have your mind made up. You know what I'm saying? Yahuah already had his mind made up. Yahuah my Elohim is who I serve and worship, and him only. You know what I'm saying? Man don't live off bread alone, but every word that proceed out the mouth of Elohim, his mind was made up. See, if your mind is not made up, then a sinner can come entice you and convince you to do something that, well, I know it's not right, but that's how it starts. That's when you around here grabbing fig leaves instead of a coat of skins. That's how it starts. You don't want no fig leaves. That means your sin ain't covered. You ain't forgiven with no fig leaves. What you gonna do with some fig leaves? Not a thing. Not a thing. Come on, man. I don't want to spend too long on this anyway. Verse 16.
28 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence.
No, this violence is injustice and wrongdoing. That's the word definition of the word in Hebrew. Go ahead.
And thou hast sinned.
And what will he do?
Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of Elohim, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire.
Do you know what it means to be profane? You heard me, D? Yes, I am. Do you know what the word profane means? You know what profane means in the context of this book? What it means? Yeah. Yeah, in common, but in the word sense, it means to be common or regular. Like when he say you profane the Sabbath, that means you made the Sabbath a regular day. You made it common. That's why he tell you repeatedly, don't profane the Sabbath, or they profane my Kadesh name. You made my name regular. You made the name of Yahuah like James, a regular dude, not a name that is above all names that ought to be reverenced and honored. So when he's telling him you was the anointed cherub and now you've sinned and you've been profane, I'm going to make you common. I'm going to make you a man. I'm going to make you regular. When he say the multitude of his merchandise, it's talking about his traffic. The word for merchandise is rakula. It's Rosh, Kaf, Lamad, and Hay. This is how you would spell it. Remember how we read that he said about the false prophets that they would make what of you? Merchandise. Remember, and Satan came through with Yahushua and tried to make what of him? Merchandise. You know what I'm saying? So why is Yahushua filled with violence? Because of the multitude of his merchandise? Was the multitude of his words or what he was bringing? Because his merchandise is the word. Remember what I tell you, buy the truth and do what? Sell it not. Also wisdom and understanding. That's his merchandise. So because of his merchandise, they filled him with violence. They didn't kill him for no other reason because of the word that he was spitting. What other reason did they have to kill him? What other reason did they have to dislike him? Nevertheless, let's come over here to, let's go back to Isaiah 60, where we read last night. 60 and 17. The reason why we're looking at it is Yahushua got put out of the garden because of sin. So then he became sin in order to come back to the garden that he left from in the first place. Because of what Adam did, he got pushed out. He got pushed out in order to make us sons of Elohim again so he could come back. Because that's the only people who can dwell there. Because what did he do to the tree of life in the garden? He what? He put a flaming sword. Like this here, rotate, keep you from getting to it. Because that's the gift of eternal life that is in that tree. Only this, as we read last night in Revelation 22 and 14, only those who keep the commandments of Elohim have a right to that. See, once Adam disobeyed, he no longer had a right or an inheritance to that. I can't allow you to partake in that. Once you have overcame and become a son of Elohim, you have a right to that. He tell you that right in Revelation 2, don't he? He that overcome, going to get it for him. Revelation 2 and 5. What's some of the things y'all know in the Garden of Eden? Rivers, what else? Tree of life, there. Animals is there. Just whatever, period. Anything that you can recall. No, it's trees and fruits or something like that. But we're going to look at some of them because in Songs of Solomon, he's going to discuss a few of those things. Go ahead, man.
He said, remember therefore from whence thou art fallen and repent.
Or is it verse 7?
He that hath ear, let him hear. What the Ruach says unto the assemblies, he that overcometh, I will give him to eat of the tree of life.
Mm-hmm. He that what?
Overcometh, I will give him to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim.
And remember what eating means? Pleasure. Place of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Why is it pleasurable to be there? Go and get him. What you gonna say?
Read that, Elohim.
Elohim is there. Let's get Isaiah 25 and 4. Make it 25 and 1. I worked my way to what I was going to.
O Yahuah, thou art my Elohim, and I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things.
Wonderful things.
Thy counsels of old are faithful.
Are what?
Are faithfulness and truth.
That's what we read last night, right? In in Revelation, right? Say these things are faithful and true. Some people don't believe that. Some people do. Go ahead.
For thou hast made of a city a heap, and a defense city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city, it shall never be built. Therefore shall the strong people esteem thee, the city of the terrible nations shall fear thee. But thou hast been a strength to the poor.
Been a strength to who?
To the poor.
Remember what we read, deliver the poor and needy to those who are low and those who've been humble. Be a strength to them.
And a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is a storm against the wall. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible one shall be brought low.
What does this mean? What does this mean? You know what it means?
It seems like it's talking about him destroying sin.
I'll read it out loud again.
It said, thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as the heat
Pause.
in the dry place.
Bring down the noise of who?
Strangers.
Noise of who?
Strangers.
Who are these strangers?
I don't think it's strangers to the covenant.
Let's look and see. What did we just read last week in Zechariah?
Or the nations coming up.
Because you got to remember, right? He just said he'd make a city a strong heap and a fenced city nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Even the heat. Oh, the shadow of a cloud. That's the storm.
Let's look at Revelation 11 and 1 real quick.
No.
No, that would be him in that cloud. Not just the other nations. Not just that. I mean, shoot, that's just about that one and the same. Unbeliever and nation one and the same, as far as I'm concerned. Though they are two separate things. I'm just speaking for me.
Revelation 11.
Go on. Go ahead, read to him.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the Malachim stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of Elohim, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles.
Given to who?
The Gentiles. And the Kadash city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
Pause. Now go back to Isaiah 25 and read what he said about the city.
It says, we're at verse 3. Well, we were verse 2. For thou hast made of a city a heap, of a defense city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city.
A palace of what? They done built the house or a palace for them to build. That's why you hear the noise of strangers. Because what is this noise of these strangers? Give me Revelation 13 and 6.
It says, and he opened his mouth and blasphemed against Elohim and blasphemed his name and his tabernacle.
And his who?
His tabernacle.
Not what is his household. And what else?
And them that dwell upon the earth shall worship him.
That's not good.
Whose
So
names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
that's good. So what do we look at? What do we see here? What we looking at now? So now we see what this noise of strangers is, right? It's these people who trodden down Jerusalem. Come on back to Isaiah 25. So when he say even heat with a shadow of a cloud, let me ask y'all a question. He said he will bring down the noise of strangers as in the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low. Let me ask you a question. How can you have heat with a shadow? Because he said, listen what he said now. Think on it. Even the heat with the shadow of a cloud.
That's what I was thinking about. That's that when we were talking about the cloud of fire and the wilderness
Or the pillar, you had a pillar. See, they had a pillar of fire and a cloud by night. But he said the heat coming with the cloud right here, right? So what should you think about?
judging out the cloud.
Yahuah come back.
Let's look at Revelation 14 and 14 first.
It says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man.
So there's the cloud, right? And who's on the cloud?
The Son of Man,
Go ahead.
having on his head a golden crown, in his hand a sharp sickle.
Sharp what?
Sharp sickle.
Go ahead. Now hold on. Now pause. Go to Joel chapter 2, verse 1. This is going to came to my mind real quick. I was looking at it beforehand. Joel chapter 2, verse 1.
It said, blow ye a trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my Kadash mountain.
Sound of what?
An alarm in
He
my
also
Kadash
said to blow a what?
mountain. A trumpet.
Why is that relevant to what we're looking at? You can say that though.
I was thinking about the Lord of the strangers.
But now he said to blow. Remember, this is the prophet Joel speaking to Israel. He telling them blow a trumpet and do what? Sound an alarm. What does our law say about an alarm? Who know what our law say about an alarm?
It's in Numbers.
Numbers 10, that is correct. The memorial blowing the trumpets feast is based off of Numbers 10.
You see enemies surrounding.
You supposed to do what? To sound an alarm.
They say one for the south and one.
They're gonna read it. Numbers 10. No matter.
I just read that. Yeah. Made me think about I have that silver trumpet that
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you already know it.
Yeah, I'll never forget that one.
How could you? Nigga going to hell. Whole bunch of them.
I'll never forget that one.
Whole bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of brews going to hell for that. And only when they do it for the calling of assemblies. Because that's not what he told you to do for the calling of assemblies. See, niggas don't pay attention when you talk to them. It also shows, just like a Mashak said, you do err not knowing the scripture nor the power of Elohim. Because nobody's saying you can't never blow one. Nobody never said that. See, people hear what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna say, don't come to me claiming no law, and then when the law get put in your face and say you ain't followed, now all of a sudden it's cultural. Get your wicked butt out my face, because if you gonna compromise that, what else you compromising you? Wicked, hypocritical bastard. Dead serious though, because that's something minute. That's something minute. Because all we talking about is calling up, read it to him. He tell you when to do it, and he tell you what to get. It say what it say. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Moses 10 and 1. It say, Yahuah spoke unto Moses, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver.
Of what?
Of silver.
Of what?
Of silver.
Go ahead.
And a whole piece thou shalt make them.
A whole piece of silver you got. You can't take a little bit of silver from here. Like this here, man. My homeboy up north got into it with his people about this too.
And that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly.
Call it for what?
The assembly.
So that's when these trumpets supposed to be blown. For the calling of it. Man, you can blow on the shofar as much as you want to blow on it. Don't nobody care. But when it's time to call for the gathering of the body, that's got to be a silver trumpet, or don't do it at all. Because if you blowing on the ram's horn, you going to hell because you breaking the law. He said if you offend at one point, you offended what? So you think he just going to look over that part? But I ain't eat no pork. I know it. You ain't blow that silver trumpet either. And you read it and did what you wanted to do anyway. That's what it say. Is that what I say? That's what the book say. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So guess what? I would never blow no shofar for no calling of an assembly. Ever. Under no circumstance. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you blow one, you stay from by me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't coming to that call. He say, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. You making the wrong call. I ain't coming. See, you didn't even sit back and look at that. A shofar sound different than a real trumpet, don't it? Drastically different. So if I'm finna come at you blowing the shofar, oh, it's time to gather. Yeah, you the devil. I ain't going over there. That's not my master voice. That ain't what he said to blow. If we gonna follow the law, then you don't follow it. If you ain't gonna follow it, then don't tell nobody about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't pick the parts you like.
That's how people gonna get deceived though.
Oh yes.
If they don't really follow it like it say, so if somebody come halfway following, you gonna follow them.
You gonna follow them. I know my master voice. You won't get me with that, not me. Go ahead. And this is my new thing, right? You know what I'm saying? It just said what it says. But we need to know that because what we just read, he said blow the trumpet and blow an alarm. So you'd have to know. If you blow an alarm with a ram's horn, I know that ain't the warning from the watchman. You don't know what you're doing.
He says, thou shalt use it for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camp. When thou shalt blow them, all the assembly shall assemble to thee at the door.
At the door. At the who?
At the door.
At Yahushua. At the door. You think them kind of Kalakim and Shama, he gonna be blowing on a shofar? Or you think they gonna be following what's written in that text? They gonna follow what's written in that text. They gonna do it how y'all told them to do it, not how they feel like it, or what your. Most people don't buy a silver trumpet because they expensive. You know what I'm saying? You get a shofar with nothing. Don't cost no money to get no shofar. Cost a little bread to get a silver trumpet. You're gonna have to drop a couple $100. Maybe even a rack. And you need 2 of them. That's why that clown up north, that's why he had that. He seen that, that's why they had him. You know what I'm saying? If we was in a place sanctified for worship, we would have them. I would buy one. I would buy them. You know what I'm saying? For that cause. Not just for the cause of keeping the law, but for the rehearsal of what it's supposed to be about. Ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got that. You ain't got to blow a trumpet for the gathering of the assembly. But they was in the wilderness. Is what he wanted them to do. That's why you got the memorial blowing the trumpets feast, because he wants you to remember. When you hear the trumpet, you know what to do. When you hear it blow one time, gather at the door. When you hear it blow this time, it's time for you to walk. When you hear it blow this time, it's wartime. Guard yourself. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Go ahead, man.
He said, you assemble themselves to be at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if you blow but with one trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the house, which are the heads of the thousands of Yasharal, shall gather themselves unto thee. Mm-hmm. When you shall blow an alarm, then
you see how it said? He said if he blowed it one time, who would gather? That's 144,000. Why you think he snatched them first?
You blow one trumpet.
One trumpet, not both of them, just one. So when he blow with one, it say the princes or the rulers. What are the 144? They the rulers. Does it not say in Revelation 14 he get them first? That's why you know our law, this book easy to comprehend. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say the people who know not the law are cursed. Not just knowing the law just to say, I keep these commandments. The law allows you to understand the plan. Then when you understand the plan, it's not difficult. He ain't doing nothing different what's in that book. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like I say, right, in the day, he said, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small, right? Then guess what you see in the law, right? What they were doing in the day of adversity repeatedly. Fainting. You know what I'm saying? What he told you to do in Deuteronomy 20 if y'all went out to war and somebody was faint-hearted. Leaving. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that little faith nigga around here. Because it's going to guess what? If you got 100 people who don't believe, who believe, and one of them don't, that can bring down the whole 99 who do. That's why he said you lead him to the house. To keep them on over there. To keep don't bring him with you. Because what happened when they went to spy the land out? Caleb and Yahushua say, well, we could take it. We could take it. You know what I'm saying? What the rest of them say? Boy, giants around there, boy. Boy, they got this here and got that there. And guess what it did to all the people? Discouraged all of them. It didn't matter what Yahushua, son of Nun, and Caleb said. They just focused on the ones who didn't believe, who were faint, who were weak-hearted. Little faith, that's who they heard. They didn't even look at the ardency and the fervency of Caleb. Them like, boy, we can take them, boy. I'm telling you. They ain't want to hear that. They ain't want to hear that. Now you see that. That's the reason why we mentioning like why he tell you to be careful. Because people who don't believe, boy, they can snap that junk right up out your soul, boy. They snap it right up out of there. They ain't trying to necessarily intentionally.
They lack of faith.
Yeah, they ain't, and when I said that, I'm like, most of these people, they ain't like, I'm gonna take a nigga faith today. No, nobody walk around doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Just them not happy.
They don't have it. See what I'm saying? So it's gonna sap them. It's gonna sap. It's gonna. They gonna try to sap you, or they gonna sit back and look at you and be like, "How you just go with? How you believe in y'all like that?" And that's why he told you. He say, "Tell them with meekness and fear of the hope that is set before you." That's what Peter told you to tell you. Same thing that's in Isaiah.
That's why you can't be around people, you know, they don't believe you like that.
So okay, not a,
Because you already care about them and you already got a trust for them. So then the fact that they feel like that,
it's
they
sap.
can play off your emotions.
It's sap. You still dust and ashes. I don't care how strong you think you is. You still got to remember you still are a person, a natural person, dust and ashes, susceptible to emotions and frailties and weaknesses, just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how strong you think you is. Straight him down. Well, I would tell you another day, I'll tell him when I need to talk about, as long as he got nature, he don't need to have no sex. But he got a wife now. I told him, boy, you lying. I said, well, you lying. I said, well, I don't know why you even sold me that drink, because I don't believe you. Now, my point being is, okay, your wife ain't with you right now. But if you really think that you could convince me that you could lay next to your woman every day and don't rub on her booty now and day, oh, you a faggot, or you lying. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in the world. Ain't that man in their room sit back and say they can lay next to their old lady for 2 weeks straight and they gonna have a problem. They gonna be like, it's calling me. You gonna be shaking. You gonna be sweating. I gotta sleep in the other room. I'm talking about it. Ain't no man gonna be able to do all that. And he talking about 30 days, 60 days. Oh no, boy, you gay. You gay. Who? Every man in this room, no, I ain't lying. Y'all might feel like, oh, I can lay next to him, ain't no big deal, because you a woman. Ain't no man finna lay next. And then y'all know most of y'all sleep half naked or naked totally. Ain't no nigga finna be laying next to that every night talking about, oh, no, I don't want none.
You might not hit it, but you gon'
You know what I'm saying?
you gonna rub that booty.
You gonna rub a couple times, but a rubber gonna stop. You gonna be like this here. He might can hold out for a week. He might can hold out for 3. All right, now you pushing it. I
That
can't.
booty rubber gonna satisfy you every time.
No, ain't gonna satisfy you. And you talking about you don't need none because you could go get in some water? Oh no.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. I don't
He
believe.
said the beast gonna satisfy me.
Beat ain't gonna satisfy me. Not like my wife is. That ain't being perverted now. You married. What you mean? Every man in here know it. That's why they said they know it. Ain't no man can sit next to lay next to no. That's why I tell you, if you not married, boy, ain't nowhere in the world you supposed to go live with no woman talking about you trying to stay pure. Ain't nowhere in the world you finna lay next to this woman every night and not touch her. And if you can do it, you gay. Something about period. Who? Guess what? Let your dude lay next to you for 3-4 months. Cause some of y'all know what you be doing in the bed. You like to toot your little booty out there and put a little offer without telling you that you're making an offer.
That boy talking about a little awful.
It's a little offer. Little offer. You know what I'm saying? Trying to act like you sleep. You ain't sleep. You look like you done did that already. Ain't been married a good 60 days. You laughing too hard.
So it don't matter what I do. Put it up and out.
You were laughing too hard. That's why I said it. I bet you did. Nasty bastard, you.
No, you ain't lying about that.
No, ain't no man here. No, because you going to be wondering after a while, is this nigga cheating on me or is he gay? And y'all know I ain't lying. Boy, if your husband don't touch you for 3-4 months, you either going to be thinking that nigga gay or he cheating.
Especially if you married.
Especially if you're married. Shit, you ain't got to be married. Shoot, you could just be dating and y'all been having sex on the regular. Yeah, you been having sex on the regular, all of a sudden it just stopped.
That nigga did look like we just snapped him.
Shoot, boy, I remember my homegirl, man, she ain't that young. How old this nigga is now? 31. She used to tell me, she was like, yeah, I get my man son every time he asks for it. Because he ain't going to get it from that another hoe. He going to get it every time. But you know what I'm saying? But she was raised around a little bit older women. You know what I'm saying? She was still in her early 20s at the time, but that's what they told her. That man asked for sex, you give it to him before he get it for the next one. You know what I'm saying? But guess what though? Even the book tell you that though.
Yeah, that's book.
You know the book tell you that. Callie, you know the book tell you that. Okay, well guess what? I'm gonna let y'all tell you that. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 1. Well, you finna. It's too late now.
Told you that.
I bet he did.
Told you gotta get that black.
I bet he did. Stanley said, "Do not deny me. Render me my due benevolence." Nah, you were dead serious. It's okay.
Nah, it was funny, but you were dead
No,
serious.
I was being funny. I promise.
What you told me.
Right,
So you were dead
she
serious.
didn't have to know that.
I know it. You were making sure she did though. Don't be coming into my. I got a headache. You better take some Advil, nigga.
You ain't right.
So late. Shoot, I would test it too. Oh yeah, yeah. You can't come in there talking about shoe. Better get you some Viagra, son. Get you some ginseng.
It was a long day.
It was a long day, but shoot, it finna get longer.
Low key, that's sin if you rebel, don't
No, it's not necessarily that's a sin, but he finna tell you what it is it allows the adversary to enter in your household. And the reason why I mentioned that based off of, like I say, what my homegirl was talking about. If you not giving him none, he'll eventually go seek that from somebody else, and vice versa. Especially if they act. Now the only difference is he say unless y'all agree and say we not having sex for X amount of time, then y'all came to that agreement that y'all that's what it was. But if you like, baby, I want something, I gotta go to work in the morning. He finna go to work on somebody else in a minute. Play with it if you want it. You human. Shoot, better bust it wide open.
Nah, bro, tell them that. Bro.
Shoot, number one, if you got 5 minutes before you go to work, you're late anyway, so 10, 15 minutes ain't gonna hurt nothing.
She's talking about 5 minutes for the deadline. She just got that home.
Well, clearly you've been tested in that area already. You ain't just asking. They're the light is here, so what you gonna
That's
do?
not right. Bro, you gotta.
What you gonna do? 1 Corinthians 7:1 though, man.
You ain't right, bro.
Shoot, that's how some man. I done already told you that. There you get mad, boy. I done heard some stories like nigga want their food plated a particular way. Shoot, you better talk. You better have that conversation before you say I do. Shoot, you might want to know. Shoot, what is your sex drive like these days? I'd like to know. Cause if that nigga too horny, you might say, you know what? I'm gonna have to pass. Am I lying though? It's better to ask now. Shoot, you might turn up and be like Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri say he told Janet Jackson, "I'm not a machine." Oh, that nigga had that in the Vibe magazine.
But you still gotta be considerate.
I ain't saying you ain't got to be
gotta
considerate.
be
All I'm saying is Jermaine Dupri was like,
You making it seem like it ain't no barter.
I mean, it may not be
You
no
making it seem
barter,
like
but
it ain't no
shoot.
negotiation.
I mean, it might not be no negotiation in that moment. Cub might be like this here, man. What's happening? I gotta go to work. Well, shoot, I need to go to work too. So what we gonna do?
And that's when you have to make a decision.
Shoot, the words say the decision is decide to make it do what it do. I think everybody done got asked at an inopportune time.
7 and 2. 7 and 1.
Go ahead, man.
Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not the power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body.
Oh,
but
that's
the
like,
wife.
don't sit there and look like that, shoot, just like that. Them his private parts, shoot. Them your private parts. He can't be coming around here telling you can't get you none, shoot. That's me there, cuz. Shoot, I need, shoot. Some of y'all women got high sex drive than the dudes you with. I done seen that one there. There's some high-sprung women out here. They got steroids in the food. I'm gonna leave her alone. Come on. Nigga say, what's funny?
She need to go to bed.
Shoot, nigga came out here with a night clothes on. Shoot, I couldn't tell that. My lamb. Gee, that nigga with a rich flesh, y'all. I was waiting for the woo.
Defraud ye not one of the other.
Don't do what?
Defraud not,
Don't defraud.
except to be with consent for a time.
See, there go your consideration. Don't defraud. But get what? If y'all ain't consented ahead of time, shoot, I don't know what to tell you.
But no, that don't mean.
I mean, that's something y'all got to work out in between.
Just like what you said.
You and
be
them.
Like, hey, I gotta leave in 5 minutes. I still need to go for the gas station. I got you tonight.
Hey, he may, but get,
And if y'all- and if
but
y'all agree
but
to
at the
that,
same,
y'all agree to
but
that,
if he
then
don't
you
agree with
do it.
that, then you got to grab your ankles.
I know that's true. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. All I'm saying is negotiations can be made. Negotiations can be made.
Hey, at the end of the day, that's on your
But yeah,
husband.
it's at the discretion. Gotta be agreed.
That's on your
Now,
husband.
if you throw the offer out there and it's declined,
I mean, at the same token, I ain't got nothing to do with the fact that if you say I'm gonna be late for work and he keep pressing it. You know what I'm saying? That's on your husband at that point. Straight up and down. Like I have nothing to do if a person marries a sexual
that's just
deviant
being, I
fool.
feel like that's just being mature, man. It's coming to an agreement. Now, if you come, if y'all agreement made and then that night come and you don't keep your word,
Well, you just lie. You going to hell for that.
Right, yeah,
But you know what I'm
you're
saying?
right.
But my thing is I'm not saying that just cause you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you say I have this, and that man say he want his due benevolence, shoot, you got to render him his due benevolence.
yeah. But you was saying like it ain't no.
I ain't said shoot.
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is that man say he wants some butt. That man say he wants some butt. Shoot, the same token, you could come to him and like, shoot, nigga, what you finna do? I gotta go to the Jaguar game. Well, shoot, they gonna be there.
Oh, that'd be all right. That's a Jaguar game.
It wouldn't matter what it was. He said, I gotta pay my money. I gotta ride in this traffic. So you could come to him and be like, shoot, I'm finna get ready to go to work. I know you here. No, I'm talking about, no, you meant that whole point. You could come at him like this here, like, he finna go to work. I know you finna go to work. Right now. You might finna be late today. Hey, it is what it is.
You ain't lying.
Now, like I said, now, that's something that y'all gotta deal with between you and your spouse. You heard what he said, unless it be with consent for a time.
Yeah.
So if y'all ain't consented, hey, if I'm running late for work, don't ask me for none.
Yeah, you gotta set your boundaries. It's the cutoff time. You don't catch it before 8:30.
Hey, don't ask me at 8:32.
You feel me? How you boundaries? How you agree?
Yeah, you gotta have the conversations.
Yeah.
You gotta have that conversation.
You'll be late for some breakfast. You might well be late for
Shoot, that nigga gotta take a whole nother shower. Don't you send your wife out there like that? Now what if she worked late? She can't get back to the house. She unclean to the evening. Now she unclean to the next day. No, because the book say when you have sex and the releasing of. Yeah, I mean we talking about just but I'm talking about just word wise. Words say after releasing of bodily fluid, you have to wash, and anything that if the man see the copulation done got anything that need to be washed on too. I'm just telling you what the law says. That's Leviticus 15. That's what it says. It says the man need to wash. If the seed of copulation get on anything, that needs to be washed, and the woman need to be washed.
Look at her.
Shoot, you ain't know that?
I mean, your seat's dirty. Look at him. Yeah, it's dirty.
That's just what the law say. I ain't had extra being funny or nothing.
There's some laundry tonight.
Leviticus 15, you read it on your own time. That's what the law say. Ain't that what it say? That's what it say. Come on back to where we was at, man. I'm just telling you what the law say. Now we dealing with that heat in the shadow on the cloud, right? Go and get him Isaiah 11, man. You see what that heat is. That's all law though. Shoot. I ain't tell you nothing but what the word say. Y'all supposed to know that. On general principle, you should bathe after having sex, but it's a lot of nasty people out here. Shoot, you definitely can't bathe after sex. You done join the Mile High Club, you got to finish that flight. It's bad for a man. It's worse than a woman. You got to open.
I feel like a dude is more acceptable.
Yeah, dude can get by. Woman, you got an open womb.
Yeah.
We know a lot of them.
I done did it. I did a lot.
Shoot, they got some instances nigga can't go bathe. And some niggas ain't finna, you at a freak whole house, they ain't finna shower their whole house. You know what I'm saying? Nigga finna dip. Most of the time, they finna get their clothes on and go before she get comfortable. I bathe when I get to the house. Next thing you know, he done ran in his homeboy. House never comes. It's reality of life, man. It happens. 9 times out of 10, woman going home. She don't want to talk to nobody. I need to bathe. She don't bathe in. You got some nigga ain't finna let that woman bathe out of house, baby. You gotta go.
Yeah, you 30.
But y'all would be lucky though, cause boy, shoot, boy, I know young nigga, boy, they lay with a woman, boy, go and take you a shower. Your purse hit.
Ooh.
Shoot, and if they at your house hit.
Well, that's dirty, boy.
You know what I'm talking about? We young too, so you know they staying at their mama house, they stealing. Y'all ain't no niggas like that. I know a lot of niggas like that. Oh, don't.
No, I done definitely.
Oh, especially if a nigga be like, boy, I'm finna go to this whole house, boy. I'ma text you, boy. I'ma open the back door. While I got it in the back, well, you know what to do. Straight up.
Get the TV too.
Straight up. Baby, come out there. What happened? Nigga done got you. You let the wrong dirty penis bandit get you today. Nisha looking like I'm appalled.
You mess with the wrong hole, you get caned like that, though.
What? Guess what? And hoes do it too. Have a nigga in the closet with that iron on you.
Nigga be done call her. Call my brother.
Well, I know a lot of niggas been killed chasing after booty. Nigga went there, go lay with that chick, went around there. Shoot, nigga jump out that closet, lay it down. Shoot, boy, when I was hustling, boy, who wanted me to go to the house, boy, I definitely went with my pistol. Straight up, I don't know you, ho.
Gonna get that booty though.
Nigga gonna catch these shells, nigga jump out their closet. You know what I'm saying? Well, I knew niggas, they wouldn't take their pants off, wouldn't take their shoes off, and they pistol right there. Come on, man. That what happen when you live a life full of sin. That's how you gotta live. Don't live your life like that. Just think the lamb ain't none of y'all let none of them your little rough young boys y'all were messing with steal out your people's house. I know you had a nigga in your mama house. Come on, man. Back to Isaiah 11. Give me verse 3. I tell y'all ain't grow up with no criminals. I grew up with criminals.
They say, and the Ruach of Elohim shall rest upon him, and the Ruach of wisdom and understanding, and the Ruach of counsel and might, and the Ruach of knowledge and fear of Yahuah. And he shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahuah. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
How does he say he coming back to judge the earth with what? No.
He's going to destroy with the breath of
His lips. So what is that breath going to be? 2 Peter 3:8. Remember, right? You say even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. Fire. That's how the heat coming in the shadow of the cloud. What is the shadow coming to do? What does the shadow do? Or it covers something. When Yahushua was on the stake, what did it happen? Cloud covered him, right? Don't Isaiah 42:22, if my memory served me correctly, he say he would blot out your transgressions like a thick what? Cloud. So when he coming with that cloud is that anointed cherub that covers. That cloud is covering those that are his. The heat is scorching those that are not. That's why he say blow the trumpet, sound an alarm, which we got to read Numbers 10 about the alarm. That's the sound of war. Continue, sir.
First Peter.
2 Peter 3:8.
He say, but beloved, be not ignorant of this.
Go to 10. We got to get on to the point.
He said, but the day Yahuah will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise,
And what else?
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Fervent who?
Fervent heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned.
Burned up. You see how he bring the terrible ones low? I'm going to burn them up. Come on back to Numbers 10 and read the thing with the alarm.
That nuclear war.
Not nuclear. Nigga cousin's an idiot.
That's what it is.
Y'all know that, right? Y'all know people believe that the fire that's referred to is nuclear war.
World War III, baby, nuke time.
Book don't tell you nothing about no World War III. Most people any of y'all ever heard of Albert Pike?
That's a Satanist.
You ever heard of Albert Pike? Do you know who Albert Pike is? He was a 33rd degree Freemason. They claim that he predicted World War I, World War II, and World War III. You know what I'm saying? His words on World War I and II were very, very accurate. It's not hard to be accurate if you're down with the people who are propagating and engineering the event. It ain't hard to have a little bit of insight. But as we know as the word, there very well may be a large-scale war, another World War III. This book just don't testify of one. You know what I'm saying? What we could come close with that would be kingdom against kingdom. These people going to war with each other. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody come and tell you, see this right here, this is World War III according to the Bible, that nigga know what he talking about. It's only one war y'all tell you about. What war is that, Stanley? That's it. Ain't that the only one? He ain't told you about another. Yeah, that's true. But that's him. And both of those wars is y'all fighting them. He ain't never gave no props about no whole bunch of people fighting each other because he don't care. That's sinners killing sinners. You think he care about that? Shoot, that's what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? That's sin on sin of crime. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Dead serious. Not trying to be funny. Dead serious. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Didn't he tell you, he said, when you see all those things, he said, that's the beginning of sorrow. He told you, don't even be concerned with it. Ain't that what he said? He said, ain't got nothing to do with you. He said, keep on holding on. He know what he told you to be ready for. The abomination of desolation, false Mashiachs. That's what he told you to be concerned with. About you not being deceived. He ain't told you nothing about worrying about these people over here, about America and North Korea going to war. They ain't got nothing to do with me. That's sin on sinner problem. That's sinner problems. What I look like, boy, the righteous ain't never supposed to be insecure. Ain't never supposed to be afraid. So what I'm worrying about, sin on sinner problems. They gonna blow up America because of Trump. Well, shoot, let them blow it up. Shoot, you only worry about it because you're going to hell. I ain't worried about what they gonna do to this place. For what? Shoot, he protect his. I ain't gonna be here. Don't he protect the people? So what you worry about it for? Nigga running tomorrow, we gonna be on the terrorist watch list. You already know how I feel about that. You was a whole hoe out here. Nigga running the streets, you wasn't worrying about being on no watch list. You wasn't worrying about no jailhouse. Now you getting the word, you worrying about getting locked up. They gonna put us in the concentration camp. You ain't fit for the kingdom. You worry about that. You ain't see Yahuah say, they gonna hang me from a tree. They gonna hang me from a tree. You ain't say Peter said, after you leave, they gonna stone us and throw us in jail. They said, well, shoot, go ahead and stone me then. Throw me and lock me up then. What you mean?
They was scared, huh?
Who was scared?
Peter.
Peter wasn't scared? Shoot, they butt Peter upside his head. Peter was bold with it and asked.
I was thinking about before when them boys was like, don't you wrong with that nigga?
That's because, you know, he had to feel that he wasn't scared because he upped that fire. For that went down, he had to up that fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he didn't sit back. He didn't even realize what he was doing when he was doing it. I like that one in Mark when it said after he did it the third time, Mashiach had turned and looked at him. Boy, I bet that nigga felt like this here. But say he turned and looked at him. I told you. You know what I'm saying? He might have been able to get away with that if he would have kept his mouth closed. I'll never run. I know. Oh, you ain't gonna run. You gonna done me 3 times a day, cuz. For real though, if he kept his mouth closed, he might not have been shamed like that for that moment. For that moment, he was shamed.
He made up for it.
Oh, you know, it definitely did. Shoot, he had already made up for it. But again, what was his statement? If my kingdom was of this world, my servants would fight. Yahuah already knew he had soldiers running with him. He knew he ain't had no, ain't wasn't no hoes running with him. He already knew that. These boy gonna ride. These boy firm. These boy got lion hearts. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that junk go down right now, man. Most of these niggas gonna run. Shoot, they ain't hit nothing. They ain't hit 911. You gonna be looking, where that nigga with at? Well, I gotta go home to my wife. Nigga, you ain't even married. Shoot, I just got married 5 minutes ago.
We'll be at his mama house.
Shoot, that nigga gonna be hiding with his tail tucked and his head in the dirt. After that, they need to put his genitals in the dirt. Go ahead, man.
Numbers 10.
Ain't no sense of being scared.
We had 10 and 3.
Just get to the part where they're alone.
Well, 10 and 4. Well, we read that. I'll read it. It say, if ye blow but one trumpet, then the princes which are the heads of the thousands of Yasharah shall gather themselves unto thee. When ye blow an alarm, then all the camps that lie on the east part shall go forth. When ye shall blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south shall take their journey, and they shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound the alarm.
Say they don't sound no alarm. So guess what that alarm is sounding for you to move because it's going down. Not when you get gathered. Don't blow no alarm. Go back to Joel.
It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in Makadash mountain, and let the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the days of Yahuah cometh, and it is now at hand.
So who trembling? Is Yasharal trembling or is the nations trembling? Nations trembling. Go ahead. Because it's the day of who?
The day of Yahuah.
Mm-hmm.
A day of darkness.
A day of who?
A darkness.
So they go to shadow of the cloud. Continue.
And of gloominess.
Gloomy.
A day of clouds.
Day of who?
Of clouds.
Uh-huh.
And of thick darkness.
Thick darkness.
As the morning spread upon the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
A great people are strong.
Strong.
They have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after, even to the years of many generations.
Mm-hmm.
A fire devours before them.
A who?
A fire devours before
So
them.
who's the fire? This Yahushua going before them. Go ahead.
And behind them a flame burning. The land is the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
So before them the land is like the Garden of Eden, but behind them it's a desolate. How does that make sense?
So I think it's Solomon and Gomorrah.
Very well then. Genesis 13 and 7. You know what he's telling you right this here? As they're going before, they're purging everybody out. So behind them is left desolation, but Jerusalem is like the Garden of Eden. And then he mentioned where we're going to next anyway. Y'all familiar with what Lot seen? Who familiar with what Lot seen? You finna get familiar with it now though. 13, Genesis and 7.
It say, and there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham and the herdsmen of Abram and the herdsmen of Lot, and the Canaanites, the parasites that dwelt in the land. And Abram said unto Lot, there be no strife, I pray thee, between thee and between thy herdsmen and the herdsmen, for we are brothers. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right, I will go to the left. Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan.
Playing all the plain of Jordan. Y'all know where Jordan is, right? That's in the lands. You should know that there was the Mashiach immersed at. So that's in where? That's in Yehudah. You know what I'm saying? Where Jerusalem will be, it is. You know what I'm saying? Where New Jerusalem will be at. That's the part of the land it's going to be at. Continue.
And that there was well water everywhere.
There was what?
Well water. He said he beheld the plain of Jordan, that it was well water everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Before Yahuah.
It was what?
It was before Yahuah.
So the same way they said in Joel, right? Before them, it was like the Garden of Eden. Before meaning panim, or the face.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
He said he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of Yahuah, like the land of Mizraim, and he came with them as thou comest unto Zoar.
Paul. So now Lot looked up and seen Sodom and Gomorrah looking like what? Or the place that he wanted to go for refuge. It looked like what?
The garden.
It looked like the garden. He saw wells of water. Remember, that's why I asked y'all, what are some of the things that's in the Garden of Eden? Remember, right? It was what's running through the Garden of Eden? Rivers. But you know, the book say New Jerusalem won't have what? But a sea is different from a river. You know what I'm saying? Why is there going to be rivers of living waters and wells of living water? Because Elohim is there. And living waters emanate from them. That's why I say, come, drink freely. So, come back to Isaiah 25. Because it was trying to paint the picture, but it's like he said, I have not seen, nor ear have heard, nor has it came into the heart of man what Elohim has prepared for those that love him. So we can get a small inkling of what Jerusalem will look like. what the kingdom will look like and the things that'll be in it. Like I told you before, nobody can picture gold that look like transparent glass. You could not visualize that in your mind if you tried, because you ain't never seen such a thing. No one can create gold that look like glass you can see through. Do you know what I'm saying? They can't create that. If they could, you know they would. They try to make their own New Jerusalem. You don't gotta go. You ain't gotta wait on him. We made one for you. They got one in Orlando.
In the Holy Land. For real.
Nigga ought to go. I ain't gonna say that. They gonna lock me up for it. But nigga should go burn it down. Burn the whole thing down. Set a match. Who got that old bald headed cracker walk around there talking about he the Lord? Shoot, burn that whole place down. You don't know about the Holy Land?
I know about it.
Shoot, burn it down. They got that white man walking around there with that robe with no drawers on, talking about I'm Jesus. You been there? You been there on a church trip, singing,
Looking like Jerusalem,
clapping.
Yeah, I seen the poster.
You were clapping.
But if you see it like
Just built it.
It's like Jerusalem.
Been around some years.
That thing probably been there at least 25 years.
25?
At least.
That's because since we was kids, everybody wanted to go. Parents wanted to go.
Oh yeah.
Now that's just me guesstimating. I think it's been around at least 25 years.
It's definitely been over 15. Yeah, it got definitely.
Cause you know TBN was behind it. TBN put the money up. And guess who be on TBN? Your nigga Steve Harvey. You supposed to already know Steve Harvey style. If you ain't know Steve Harvey style before, you gotta know his style. He on TBN. He been on TBN for years. Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin. Shoot. Old R.J. Washington used to be on TBN all the time before he died. That nigga been dead. Yeah, that nigga been dead. That nigga been dead at least a year or two. Yeah, that nigga been dead.
Yeah, mysterious.
No, it's not. It's just they hit it the same way they hit it with Charlie Murphy. You know, it's if you got the means and the money, you can hide that from people.
I don't know.
I
I ain't
put-
know Charlie Murphy, but I ain't gonna lie. I seen that joint on TV. Charlie Murphy was a little sick.
That's what I'm saying. Because he was losing weight because he had cancer and chemo though. But that ain't hard.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, boy, that boy look like somebody.
But it ain't hard to hide you got cancer. Sometimes you can walk around and look healthy until it start to ravage you. He might have been a player. I have no idea what it was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know much about it. But hey, but AIDS don't take you out that fast. No, AIDS don't take you out that fast. AIDS is a drawn out process.
Depends, though.
I don't know, cause like that Easy junk, that junk ain't real. You don't die from AIDS that fast. That junk is a long, drawn out process. The way you watch a nigga waste away.
Well, I'm saying, like, I done heard some people get AIDS, but they have STDs, bro. Like, if you get AIDS and you got another progressive STD, your immune system already weak, so that junk can kill you quick. You can have AIDS and get anything.
Yeah, but what I'm
anything
saying is that-
progressive, you gonna die fast.
Yeah, but niggas ain't dying from AIDS that fast.
That's what I'm saying, not AIDS, what I'm saying.
But no, just like she was talking about, oh, Eddie Long popped up sick, but you realize, like, you don't see these niggas in the public eye for a minute, and then the next time you see this nigga, the nigga gone. You know what I'm saying? Nigga been sick. You know what I'm talking about?
But cancer kill a nigga like that, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just was telling you the other day, cuz wife, she looked irregular then gone, just like that, but she been had it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she knew she had it, but she had already had it. You know what I'm saying? And then that was just like that there though. So I'm saying cancer do like that. I don't know what they say he died of. I don't know what he had. Shoot, it's irrelevant. He dead now.
That one.
I don't know what he had. I mean, I don't know what he had. I ain't even finna. Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. They said I don't even know what they said he had. I don't even want to speculate on what nobody had. But nigga dead now, so it don't make no difference. He got hell. That's what he got now. That's at Kira's house. She at her grandma's house.
That's
Kira,
why she be on the line. I just did that.
yeah, Kira in a house full of heathens.
Hey, she stay solid, dog.
Solid.
That jump to the utmost.
Solid.
Niggas on their own can't stay solid.
What? You got niggas that ain't around no heathens and folding like paper mache. You know what I'm saying? She in a house full of heathens. Boy, Kira like this hell. I ain't with that. Y'all remember Kira used to power lift. She gonna power slam a nigga in that house. Shoot. Nah, Kira was competed, nigga. Like shoot. In her prime, shoot. Kira stronger than me. Was stronger than me.
I think dog still could drop you on your head.
Shoot, dog was strong. Y'all know, shoot. D and Shayla remember dog was in there playing with that weight. I don't know. I think this might be too heavy. Next thing you know, this nigga squatting like this here. Nigga, you better put some more weight on that ball. Here playing.
I was about to knock dog upside her head.
Hey, I ain't know how strong she was, but boy, that nigga got up in there. I said, boy, that nigga, that's strong, boy.
He stepped up on the nigga at the house one day.
Uh-huh. You went ahead and said, I saw it, man. I saw it.
I know I did. I was gonna have to bust her that day. No.
Dog husband better not be with that rabbit, boy. Dog gonna toss you around that house, boy. Straight up now. Who you talking to? Play with it. That nigga strong. That nigga strong. Like, I don't have no thoughts on nobody when they go in the gym. Like, okay, you ain't been in here for a while. You know, make sure, you know, do a weight you feel like you can handle. No, they ain't got nothing to do with it. That girl's strong. No, you talking about really. See, and she been done tossed you up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because she's strong. I'm talking about country strong.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've been chopped. I go out there and chop that wood strong.
She's strong. I'm telling you. She's strong. I'm telling you now. Nigga underestimate her if they want to. She gonna dummy you up.
Yeah. Let the little soft spot get.
Yeah, play with it. Play with it. And I ain't even talking. Yeah.
She stepped out.
What's happening?
She simmered down though.
Hey, but all I'm telling you is I don't know nothing about outside of that, but when we got in that weight room, boy, she was throwing that weight. I'm talking about that nigga was squatting with perfect form. Talking about she ain't squatted in years. Put like 60 pounds on there. Like, man, dog, man, bump that junk up to 155 and stop playing. And guess what she did? Perfect form. With the buck and some change like it was nothing. Bench pressing like it's nothing. Deadlifting like it's nothing. Leg pressing like this is, dog, you playing. Put that 450 pounds on there and stop playing. You know what I'm saying? But we working out though.
Nah, but I could tell that though. I seen her arms, her back was.
That girl's strong.
Her back looked like
Defined.
it wasn't like no female back.
She's strong.
It was like a.
And Kira the same way now. You think Kira ain't strong if you want to.
It was a conditioned back.
Cause Kira did Olympic lifts.
Nah, for real, it was very.
You know what I'm saying? Cleans and pulling jerks and that type of stuff. That's strong. That's strength. I don't do all that type of stuff. I just squat, bench, and deadlift. I don't do all that extra stuff.
Intermediate.
So is. Shoot, on the bench press chart, it said I'm intermediate for my weight. They say I'm supposed to be benching to be advanced. I'm supposed to be benching 335. I don't bench 335. 300, my limit.
Mine said beginner.
Come on, though. That's for real, though. We in the word, so I don't want to see that though. But, boy, nigga run up on dog with that rallies in the street. Boy, dog will hurt a nigga. Ain't gonna punch you now time. Cause you gonna run up on her like it's this, that, there, and the third, and boy, she gonna pick you up and drop you right on your neck. Bop! You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. Like she could got you.
I ain't talking about no man. I'm talking about a woman. Then run up on her she wants. Oh no, she gonna get a chance to grab me. Cause I'm gonna hit her on her button. Bop! On the top button. Nigga ain't gonna grab me. I already know you strong. I ain't finna play with you. Yeah, I already know you strong. Nigga ain't finna jackhammer me out here. I'm just being honest with you. That girl. Last thing you want to do is get slammed by a girl.
And not get up.
And not
You
get
gotta
up.
get up quick. Like that's not accident.
Like, who, what you want to do?
Well, you stay down there.
Whole time you like this. Oh, I want to get up. Come on, man. I ain't got time for with y'all. I said 25. I ain't got time for with y'all.
You said 35.
Where?
Buddy said 35. You said 25.
Yeah, 25. I ain't got time for with you. He ain't telling no lie though. No, we in Joel 2. We finished Joel 2? Yeah, we finished Joel 2. We got to. So what we looking at is right. It's wells of water. Let's take ourselves actually. Let's finish Isaiah 25 and then go to Songs of Solomon chapter 6.
We had 5. We read 5. We had 6. 25 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
It say, and this mountain shall Yahuah of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the leaves.
A feast of who?
Wines on the leaves.
This the marriage supper of the Lamb.
And of fat things full of marrow, and wines on the leaves well refined.
Go ahead.
And he will destroy
What are you gonna destroy?
on this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
What's that veil? That's the cover. Remember, we talked about that veil. Uncover that secret. Now eternal life is available to you. Go ahead.
And he shall swallow up death in victory, and Yahuah Elohim will wipe away the tears from all.
He'll do what?
Wipe away the tears.
First thing that's going what? No more sorrow. He wiping away all tears. Go ahead.
And the rebuke of his people shall he take away.
So the correction that's been on his people, the stuff that we've been dealing with, his correction and his wrath, like we read Leviticus 26, if you don't want to be amended for your sins, I'll punish you 7 times more. Go ahead.
And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, and Yahuah have spoken it.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall be said in that day, lo, this is our Elohim.
This is who?
Our Elohim.
We've what?
Waited for him.
We what?
We've waited
We
for him.
endured for him.
And he will save us.
He'll what?
He will save us.
Mm-hmm.
This is Yahuah.
This is who?
This is Yahuah.
Mm-hmm.
We have waited for him.
We waited.
We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation.
Mm-hmm.
For in this mountain shall the hand of Yahuah rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill.
Go ahead.
And he shall spread forth his hands in the midst of them, as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hands to swim.
You read verse 8 yet?
Yeah, that was death, swallowing, and victory.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just overlooked. So then the next thing we know that be in the garden is there'll be no more what?
Sorry.
Or death. Because what did Adam have in the garden?
Yeah.
Death. So the new garden, there'll be no more death. There'll be no more sorrow, because the sorrow came because you seen they were sorrowful for what they did. We read that at the beginning, right? They went and hid. Ain't gonna be no more of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that out of here. I'm not bringing that into the new one. Songs of Solomon chapter 4, not chapter 6. Four and 6. Songs of Solomon 4 and 6. So you want to have your heart, like I say, it's more stuff about the things of detail in the kingdom is only, in the New Testament, is only really spoken about in Revelation. You know, they talk about it, but it's not nothing in detail. The detailed things of what is actually going to be there is in the first half. So that's why we got to spend a lot of time in the first half. That's why we went back and we looked at why he had to put the anointed cherub out, because it was sin, iniquity, death is here. I put you out of here. But then I'm going to bring you back once you complete the task. Go ahead.
Songs of Solomon 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Until the daybreak, and the shadows flee away.
Until the who?
The shadows flee
Hold on,
away.
until the what break? What that mean when he say until the day break? And shadows flee away.
Talking about joy coming in the morning.
You can see, you can use that, you know,
Or
pain endure for a night, but joy come in the morning.
judgment.
But Yahushua said he what? The morning star or the day star. So what is it going to be like at his coming? Give me,
Dark, it says the sky's gonna be black,
sky going to be black,
and the stars gonna fall.
stars going to fall. And then when he appeared, day breaks and the shadows flee away. Because darkness can't exist where there's light. Go ahead.
It say, until the shadows flee away, and I will get me the mountain of myrrh and the hill of frankincense.
So what is this here mountain of myrrh, hill of frankincense? What is he talking about? What did Serenity say about Jerusalem? What kind of land? When he was mocking her, what did he say about it? Y'all know? You know what it is? Do you know what Serenity was saying about the land?
That was the Syrian king, right? That was the Syrian king.
That was the Assyrian king. He was mocking Hezekiah.
Yeah, we read that. I remember.
He told him, y'all land, it ain't nothing but a land of hills and valleys. You know what I'm saying? So he telling you about Jerusalem. You know, and I'm only mentioning this so y'all well. Perverted people tell you Songs of Solomon about sex. It's really a love letter. It's a love letter between Yah and Yasharal, really. It's just Solomon speaking to a woman, because the conversation switches of who's speaking. Some instances Solomon speaking, some instances it's the Shumanite woman speaking, depending on where you look at it at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you weren't, did you ever hear that before, Zach? Yeah, you got some people use Songs of Solomon to justify oral sex. Or they be like, oh, Solomon's a freak because he said her two breasts look like a cluster of grapes. You know what I'm saying? That really be showing, I mean, that's what it says though. But that's really be showing what people's mind is, or your mind is at. That you looked at that and that's what you drew from that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I think he said something about she looked like a palm tree. He said, boy, she big, boy. You know about that verse?
I knew about that grave.
Hold on. Go to Song of Solomon 7. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Now, this is the statue. It is like a palm tree, and thy breasts are clusters of grapes.
Mm-hmm.
I said I would go up to the palm tree, and I would take hold of the boughs.
See, that's what they saying.
Now,
See, she thick like a palm tree, boy. He said, take the boughs. They think he gonna grab her by her hips.
And he would smell of the nose like apples. Smell them all.
That's what they say. I ain't lying. That's what niggas say.
I would take hold of that palm.
And I ain't even we got something for the palm tree. Y'all know the word for palm tree? It's the same word for palm tree. I got it right here.
And then the roof of thy mouth.
The word for palm tree is Tamar. It's the same palm tree. It's date palm tree. It's Tal, Meme, and Rosh.
That's scriptures after dark.
Scriptures after dark. You want to study with me? A coot. Next thing you know, somebody scooting.
Oh, Vic. That's what he used to post.
That was your thing? Scriptures after dark?
That was Vic. This was Vic who used to post after dark.
Who used to do that?
Victims.
Victims?
That boy said the roof of my mouth is like the best wine.
The best wine.
Sweetly causing the lips of those who are asleep to speak.
Now, what y'all think that mean? What he said? Read that again, though. This is what it said.
And the roof of my mouth is like the
best. Roof of my mouth is like what?
Like the best wine.
Causing what?
For my beloved.
For my who?
My beloved.
And what else?
That goeth down sweetly.
Sweetly.
Causing the lips of those that are asleep to speak.
What y'all think that mean?
Like that.
Huh?
That's poetry.
No, he said cause the lips of them that what
that are asleep.
Ain't nobody raising them from the dead.
To speak.
What you think that mean, Jughead Jones? I don't know what that mean. Shayla, you think you know what that mean?
7 and 9.
What you think that mean, Monte?
Like, don't ask him.
What you think that mean, D? He said the roof of his mouth is like what?
The best wine.
The best what?
The best wine.
Go get John chapter 2 real quick.
For my beloved.
For my who?
My beloved.
Go get John chapter 2. That what you like anyway. That's the type of movie. That's you watching Cinemax when your mama was gone.
That's poetry.
Rhonda like this here. I ain't never seen that before. What that is?
That's poetry. The roof of my mouth.
John 2 and 10. He said the roof of, what is it, when he say the roof of your mouth, what that mean? Oh, that's your throat, son. That's your tongue.
Your palate. 2 and 9.
Yeah, 2 and 10. Roof, it says roof.
The roof on top of your mouth.
Yeah, he's talking about his words are like best wine
For his beloved.
for his beloved.
I feel like he putting the words in his mouth to speak.
But he say, my roof of my mouth is like the best wine. Read John 2 and 10.
It say, when the ruler of the feast have tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and said unto him, every man at the beginning does set forth good wine, and when men have well drunk,
Well, what?
well drunk,
What they do?
then that which is worse, but thou hast kept the good wine until now.
You kept the best wine till now. When Mashiach sat down at the table with his apostles, what did they do?
They drunk
They drank some wine, right? The best wine. What wine was it?
his blood,
Of the what? For the what?
remission of sin.
So that's the best. The roof of his mouth is like the best wine because he hit him with some word, right? He resurrected from the dead. What he sat down and did with him? He sat down and ate and drank with him. They hit that word, didn't they? So he calls those that were asleep to do what? To speak. I believe, therefore I have spoken. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, when those that are asleep, because he said, awake thou that sleep. I can see why you would think resurrection of the dead. Don't get me wrong. When he said, arise thou that sleepeth, Mashiach will give thee light. Because while you in your sins, he said, let the dead do what? Bury the dead. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in your sins, guess what you are? You sleep. So now he calls those that will sleep to do what? What his apostles went and did?
They went preaching him.
Went and preached to him. And so guess what? Guess what a nasty nigga
That
do?
wine was in the roof of their mouth.
Ryan that word was in their mouth. And we already went over what that new wine, that's a whole nother thing. Come on back though. We gotta stay on task.
That's tight though.
We gotta stay on task. Ain't got nothing to do with being freaky.
That's that good wine in the roof of their mouth.
That's that
Speaking
good-
things.
That's why he said, notice he said the roof of my mouth. Like, how many people around here talking about something they want to taste a nigga mouth taste like some wine?
A little drunk kiss.
Not when you're sober. So you ain't drunk wine in 3 days, William. What's going on? You still like this. That's when you're drunk. I'm telling you, I used to mess with a chick, boy. She ain't drink for 4 days. Still smell like liquor.
But you like that though.
I did.
Call it like it is.
Shoot, I was messing with her. Shoot.
You like a little wine in the roof of your mouth.
Shoot, nigga ain't get drunk around me, so. I don't care who you get drunk with. Get drunk with a nigga, make sure he pay you. Shoot, that's what you better tell him. If you gonna throw some boot in there, you better get paid for it. Don't be coming around here with no wet behind and no dry pocket.
Well, I need $20.
What you say? I felt like that.
I'm a rag, man.
Nah, shoot, like this here, man. You dealing with a chick bite like you said, you ain't like this here, man. Shoot, we used to like this. I need some money. Shoot, you got a vagina, you know what to do. Get you some money like that. Don't come asking me for it. We were just being petty, but I don't really want you to prostitute. But shoot, you might as well. You come around here asking us for money. I ain't your man, nor your daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to feel when we were young, and then we knew girls who people told them that a woman should never be broke. And they say, you sitting on a gold mine. That's what they used to tell them.
You was terrible for a word.
I wasn't terrible. I'm just telling you that's what niggas used to tell them.
You was.
Ooh, one thing for certain, two things for sure. I told you that last week. Boy, my mama told me when I was 12 years old, don't give your money to no woman because she spread her legs. You ain't gonna get no money from me because you got a vagina. What that mean to me? There's plenty of vaginas out here. Some will do it for free. I felt like this here when I was younger, man. Shoot. Vagina and water supposed to be free, and I ain't paying for neither one of them. Straight.
I know. No.
Dead serious though, man. But I mean, I wouldn't. That's what they just being like. This a begging woman. I need some shoe. Need to go shoe. I ain't we used to tell them like, you letting all them niggas run through you? Shoot, you need to get paid for it. You letting all these boys blow your back out. You ain't even got a sandwich to eat. So did. That's what it said too. I was getting that too. Spread your feet to everybody that passed by. Said they give gifts to all whores, but you give your gifts to your lovers and get nothing in return. And it ain't no lie too. Nigga was clowning, but boy, I did my research. Ezekiel 23, he definitely said you niggas like them old long schlong niggas. That's definitely what it say. Am I lying? That's what it say. Say he was looking after the Egyptians because he was hung. That's what you like, to get ravaged and give up all your stuff.
They don't like to deal with that though.
No, they don't like to talk about that. That's embarrassing. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shoot. And truth be told, that's what y'all were pretty much telling. If you're going to let all your lovers knock you down, you might as well get something for it. He said, you contrary to all whores. That's what he said.
You get knocked down and don't get nothing.
And get nothing.
They don't want to come back to me.
It's not that we condoning the sin. He's saying if you going to do it, you might as well get something. You ain't even getting nothing. And then coming back to me talking about, please, I'm hungry. Well, where was that nigga you was sleeping with yesterday? Boy, ain't nowhere in the world, woman. Boy, if a woman let the man put his penis in her and she can't get nothing to eat out this nigga, can't get $5, can't get some gas money, but take that nigga, roll him up and throw him in the dumpster somewhere. Because that nigga ain't worth nothing. And then after that, you need to jump in behind him for letting him do it.
They just show you how ain't nothing really new. Like,
Ain't nothing new.
they've been doing that.
They been doing this here. Because you know why a woman give a gift to all her lovers and get nothing in return? And hopes he'll stay. And hopes he'll stay. Don't leave. I know you don't care about me. I know you don't mean right by me. Please stay.
Well, in our case, I know you're not real.
Please stay.
I know it's fake, but you just...
But that's the same difference when you ain't doing. I know it ain't real. I know you fake.
Yeah,
Please stay.
yeah, that don't make no sense.
Don't make no sense. That's when you get caught in the delusion of stupidity. That's why I be telling you that when the real thing come, you don't want it.
You're going to fall for it because you've been in love with the fake. And
For so long, you don't
it's
want
going to appeal to you.
all day. All day. That's why I always be telling you that, because it's word for that. It's word for a lot. I might be sounding vulgar off the script, but it's word for what I be saying. And examples and scenarios where Yah himself said this. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow when you go in front of Yasharal and you see your God told you that you were a whore who had sex with anybody who passed by you. And you gave all your stuff to them and he told you you was a dumb hoe. And that you were contrary to all other whores. And he let you know they give gifts to all whores. That's why Judah gave gifts to Tamar. You know what I'm saying? He say, but you give your gift, and you know what we be doing? That's what the one way you trying to get a kingdom to these heathens. You try to give the covenant to people who don't even want it. You know what that is? Being unequally yoked. You want to try to save and heal somebody who don't even want it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that Yahushua ain't give his gifts to anybody. He told you don't cast your pearls before swine. You see that he told you if they won't accept your testimony, dust your feet off on them and go about your business. Don't be trying to give these people your gifts and they don't want it. If they rejected it, what you begging them for? That they stupid behind. That they lost. Nevertheless, go on back. That's how I feel about it. I'm telling you, I ain't finna go back and forth like you say, oh, you don't want to believe it? Well, shoot, brother, it's all good. I'm finna slide to the house. I'm not finna make you believe nothing. So, like, for what? Come on, man. Songs of Solomon, folk. You in verse 7.
It said, thou art all fair, my love, and there is no spot in thee.
Know what you mean with no spot? What he told you that man did for his wife in Ephesians? What did he say Yahushua did? Cleansed her with the washing of water by the word, that there be no what? Spot, wrinkle, blemish. What did he tell you in Revelation 21 and 27? Nothing that commits abomination or defiles will enter in the well in that city. Come on with it, man. You got to be a son of God to get in that city.
It said, come with me from Lebanon.
Come with me from where?
Lebanon.
And do what?
My spouse with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of
Amana.
Amana. From the top of Shinir.
And Hermon.
From the lion's den. From the mountains of the leopards.
Thou hast what?
Ravished my heart. My sister, my spouse. Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes with one chain of thy neck.
How fair?
How fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse?
How much better?
Is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ornaments than spices.
Don't get me wrong. If you wanted to make your woman feel good, you can slide her one of these. You got to pick sure you pick the right one, though.
Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garment is like the smell of Lebanon.
A garden.
Enclosed is my sister,
What did he tell you Jerusalem was?
my spouse.
The mother of us all, right? So he said that's a garden enclosed. Go ahead, man.
A spring shut up, a fountain sealed.
Of what?
Fountain sealed.
You see, that spring was shut up in the first Jerusalem, but what did we see in the first Garden of Eden? But what did we see with Genesis 13? What did we see with Joel? They saw what? At least Genesis 13. He saw what? Wells of water, right? Come on with it.
It says, thy plants are an orchard.
You know, the word plants here is shalak. You know, it literally means something that sprouts up, or a weapon, or a missile. You got a Sean, a Lamar, and a Cot. So guess what it's going to mess around and turn around and do? That this teaching that this man's got is going to separate and consume. It's going to, that take us back to the shadow of the heat, right? Go ahead.
It says,
Thy plants
are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruit, campfire with spikenard.
pleasant fruits, right? The word for pleasant is magad, meme, gamal, and dalet. It means excellent. What y'all think that could mean? I mean, putting it together with the characters, the meme, the gamal, and the dalet. Excuse me.
Come on, that's travel.
Mm-hmm.
To the door, pleasant, Sean. To be paired.
No, ain't no Sean in there.
I thought you said.
It's magad, or megad, I should say.
Ma'am.
Nothing but a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And that taking us back to talking about them rivers of water. Now look at what he said. It's got pleasant fruits, right? Campfire. Water brings to the door. Spikenard. Saffron. Calamus. You know about that calamus, don't you? You know about that calamus?
They don't know about that.
They don't know about that calamus.
Calamus.
Calamu. They said that's that weed. See, it's weed in the garden.
Kind of bad.
Kind of bad, stupid bastards.
That Boeing.
And they say all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes with chief spices, fountains of gardens, a well of living waters, and streams from Lebanon. This is what he say is in this enclosed garden or this fenced garden. So what you think these pleasant fruits would be? Because it said it in the Garden of Eden, right? It says trees with all manner of fruit, right? So what you think these fruits would be in this garden? Coming off these trees. People, what you think them fruits would be?
The fruit that's already in the tree. That's already in the garden.
It say, listen what it say that plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits. And then they go to naming things, right? So we know from Genesis 2, right? Give me Genesis 2 and 15. All right, crank it up a little bit. What time is it? Okay, we got time.
Genesis 2.
And 15. Tell me what that say.
It says, and Yahuah Elohim took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
And the what?
And to keep
So
it.
that's Shamar, that's the guard.
And Yahuah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. But of the tree of knowledge and good and evil thou shalt not eat of it.
So only two trees in the garden today, the tree of life and the tree that he just mentioned. He said all of them had, you could go back to what? Give me verse 9. Make sure you read that. 2 and 9 Genesis.
It said, and out of the ground made Yahuah Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the
So
midst
all of these trees is good for food. Then you got some of them, they putting out good spices, good aloe. You like aloe? You like aloe, Lisa? I like to drink it. You like to drink it? The aloe juice they be selling in the store ain't real though. They be putting sugar in them. I'm just talking about it. There's a lot of sugar in them aloe juices though. A lot of sugar in them juices. So, what are those fruits that are pleasant, that are excellent? Remember what he sat back and looked at the meme, the gamal, and the dalet. So that's the way to the door of life, right? Then we just looked last night how he said the water's coming out the door. You can see that in Ezekiel 47 on your own time. Starting at verse 1, he run it all the way down. What y'all think them fruits is? Think about what we just seen in Isaiah 25, right? He said it wouldn't be there, right? Give me Isaiah 61. Why y'all thinking on that? I want you to think about those fruits that's going to be in that place. And also remember, right, what we were dealing with in Jeremiah 33. What did he say he would do to Jerusalem? He said he would what? He would heal it, right? And he would cure it, right? Revelation 22 say that the tree of life bring forth how many manner of fruit? And that fruit was for what? The healing of the nations. What you finna say, Stan? That's what's the fruit that's gonna be there. That's the fruit. That's the fruit. That's what these trees would produce. That's the fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I say, think about what he told you. Swallow up death and victory. You know what I'm saying? There'll be no more tears. There'll be no more pain. There's no law against the things that are the fruit of the Ruach. Let's go ahead and read out Isaiah 61, though. And that'll further cement that what we talking about. We want to pick him up by verse 10. Is that verse 10? We can read verse 3. Isaiah 61 and 3.
It says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning.
The garment of what?
Of praise.
Hold on, the garment of what?
Praise.
For the what?
The Ruach of heaviness.
Did not they have a Ruach of heaviness when they put on them fig leaves and he gave them a garment, a different garment? And Yah gave them that garment. See, that's the part I want you to focus on. Yah gave them that coat of skins. That was his mercy and his forgiveness and his grace that he extended unto them. Go ahead.
That they might be called the tree of righteousness, the planting of Yahuah, that he might be esteemed.
Go ahead.
And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations.
And they will do what?
They shall repair the waste cities.
And the what?
The desolations of many generations.
So you see again how we see how he say he gonna go ahead. See how he gonna repair it.
I don't say them color skins. Can you tie that in with the lamb was slain from the fire? Because he was saying that coat was talking about that. I thought you meant like a lamb or something like that.
No, we was reading that it's something else about with the covering. You could, but it's just a coat of skin. We'd have to look and see if it even says what animal it is.
I never gave it to them.
No, we'd have to look and see the word skin and what it means. Go ahead.
It says, and the stranger shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plow.
That said what we read last night. He'll rule over your enemy with a rod of iron and break them into pieces like a potter's vessel. And that he will cause them to bow down to you and kiss your feet so that you would know that Yahushua loved you. Go ahead.
And your vine dressers, for ye shall be named the priest of Yahuah. Men shall call you ministers of Elohim. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their esteem shall ye boast yourselves.
For your shame,
ye shall have double.
you heard this? For your shame, you have what?
Double.
Go ahead.
And for confusion, they shall rejoice in their portion.
Therefore,
In their land, they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them.
this what he everlasting what?
Joy.
That's eternal life. You see, joy is one of the what? You know what I'm saying? Because these are fruits that's gonna be in this place. It ain't like, oh, I want a pomegranate, I want a mango. You know what I'm saying? Drop down to no. Take me to Zechariah. I'm trying to get all the spots so you can see how this man described it. After Zechariah, Psalms 144. Like I said, it ain't a lot of about the only thing Mashiach told you about the kingdom was that some of you niggas gonna get put out. Like he didn't give any descriptive of what it was gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? You know why he didn't get that descriptive? Because you supposed to know the word and already knew. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to already knew that. Now, of course, that's different in our dispensation of time, but yeah, they supposed to already knew that. Zechariah 8:1. I just want y'all to understand and know that he made a promise to restore the land, and he gonna do it. And I want you to hear the promise that he made. That's a part of your faith. You need to know that. Who knows all the fruits of the Spirit off the top of their head? Well, let's see. We'll go around and give me one, Nisha. Wisdom? No, you're going to have to roll the dice again. You're going to have to roll the dice again. You got one more time.
It's more simple than that.
That is correct. Joy. Go ahead, Monte. You got 3 rolls of the dice. Now, don't try to look it up. You can look it up. Oh, I thought he had his phone in his hand trying to look it up. Don't look it up.
It's simple, brother. The simple things in life.
We got joy. Joy is off the board. You said love? Love is correct. Love is off the board. Come on, Callie.
Simple things in life.
We ain't got enough time to do 3 strikes on everybody, so. Spirit. We got joy and love. Joy and love are off the board. No, that's a gift of it. It ain't the fruit of it.
Not easy.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not what it was.
Stanley, go ahead.
That's what I'm telling you. It's simple.
Joy and love are off the board. Long suffering. Joy, love, and long suffering are off the board. Go ahead, right? Huh? Faithfulness, we'll set it because it is faith. Faith, long suffering, joy, and love is off the board. Come on. Meekness is off the board. Come on, Darius. Temperance, self-control is off the board. Come on, Jughead. Faith is off the board. Exactly. Shalom is off the board. Come on, Lee. Huh? What are the fruits of the Spirit? Can you name them? Can you name me one? Kindness is off the board. Gotta accept that because that is gentleness. Come on, D. They about gone.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm out.
It's one more though. We got long suffering, temperance, love, faith, joy, shalom, and gentleness is off the board.
And meek, yeah, gentle.
See, she said humbleness, so I'll take it. And then meekness is off the board. Johnny did.
Yeah, I thought you said.
No, Zach said.
No, Zach said faith. You said long suffering.
Oh, you said long suffering.
Oh,
Yeah, long suffering off the board.
don't look, bro.
Well, shoot. Make sure we got them all, so we don't keep on
I ain't
going.
got no more either though. Yeah, good.
That's the last one.
Good.
I was looking for.
Nah, that's what I had. That's what I was on. Huh?
Yeah, your wife did. That's all of them. That's all of them.
Simple thing.
That's what's going to be there. You know where the gentleness going to be at? Because he wiped tears from all eyes and comfort everybody. You know where the goodness at? Because he fulfilled his word. You know what the faith at? Because he fulfilled the word. The joy, because we finna read it in a minute. Shalom, because death been destroyed and he made a covenant of shalom with you. Self-control, because there ain't going to be no sinners there. Meekness, because the meek will inherit the earth. That's the fruit that's going to be there. Why is that the fruit that's going to be there? Because he said that we are the first what? The first fruits of a Mashiach. So the fruit that's going to come from the... Remember, we just talked about this. He's seen men walking in what? Trees. He just said you'll be trees of righteousness planted where? In Jerusalem. So the fruit there is the fruit of the individual men. He say, anybody who my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. Remember, we just dealt with planted in the garden last night. It's Natah. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to experience the containing of eternal life. You got to experience a Mashiach. You experience him, you can be planted. You be one of them trees of righteousness. Go and get you the fruit thereof and be healed. Zechariah 8:1.
Wonderful Savior.
Listen what he say. He talking about that war we were talking about too now. Then after that, Psalm 144. Like you said, it's real simple. You're overthinking. You ain't told you're overthinking.
Again, the word of Yahuah of hosts came to me saying, Thus said Yahuah of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with a great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus said Yahuah, I am returned unto Zion, and I will dwell in the midst of
He will do what?
I will dwell
In the midst.
of Jerusalem.
And what?
Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth,
And the what?
and the mountain of Yahuah of hosts, the Kadash mountain.
Thus saith Yahuah.
There shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, every man with his staff in his hand for very age.
And the streets?
Of the city shall be full of boys and girls.
Full of who?
Boys and girls.
Doing what?
Playing in the street.
Playing in the street? Go ahead.
Thus said Yahuah of hosts,
If it be,
marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of his people in these days.
should it also be?
Marvelous in mine eyes.
He said, if it's marvelous to you, you don't think it's great to me? That's what he said. So in the Garden of Eden, little kids gonna be running in the street playing.
That's what they said, we're gonna be little boys and girls.
Little boys and we gonna be little boys. Little boys.
That's where they got it from.
Little boys. Psalm 1 for the grown nigga really told her, we're gonna be little boys.
Little boys and girls in the streets of Jerusalem.
And they say, I'm supposed to be here. My last name, Jackson. It don't even pay to be that stupid. Psalm 144 and 11. Make it, yeah, Psalm 144 and 11. It don't make no sense to be that stupid. But I just want y'all to see, that's your hope, right? That's why we've been talking about these trees and this fruit and all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Wells of water, because it's going to be eternal life there and righteous people there. And the fruits of the Spirit come from who? Those who died and rose again. So those who are the sons of God, they're the only people who can be planted there. Psalms 144 and 11. He calling for you. You don't hear his call?
Rid me.
Do what?
Rid me.
And deliver
From the strange children,
from the hand of strange children. Go ahead.
whose mouth speaketh vanity,
And their right hand,
is the right hand of falsehood.
they God is a lie. Go ahead. Look what he say.
That our sons may be as plants.
Our sons may be as what?
Plants.
You see that go back to? And what else?
That they be grown up in their youth.
And that are what?
That our daughters may be as cornerstones.
Polished.
After the similitude of a palace.
Go ahead.
That our gardeners may be full.
Maybe what?
Full.
What else?
According to the manner of the store.
We got plenty of food. That are what?
That our sheep may bring forth thousands.
And what?
10,000 in our streets.
That are oxen.
May be strong to labor.
That
there be no breaking in.
Nor what?
Going out.
That there.
Be no complaining in our streets.
Ain't no what?
Complaining in our streets.
Ain't no what?
Complaining.
How you gonna be complaining in this man's streets and this man say he wiping all tears from people's eyes? Ain't no more pain, no more death. What you complaining about? Boy, if a nigga could get in the kingdom of Elohim and complain, he ought to die. What you complaining about? What is there to complain about? You overcame sin and death. You were delivered into an eternal kingdom to see the face of the living Elohim, and you complaining?
Happy is that people.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose Elohim is Yahuah.
Uh-huh. Give me Isaiah 58 and 10. Is it 58 and 10? Let's see what 58 and 10 says. That done, they're crazy, man. Some of these niggas will find a way to complain. I done told you before, you got people who think, boy, you're going to be having sex in the kingdom. No, don't worry about Isaiah 58. Yeah, you got people who think you're going to have kids and all. Going to be like this here. You better keep your penis in your pants, cuz. Elohim is here. What's wrong with you? What do we want, man? Zephaniah 3 and 15. What's wrong with you, Eugene? Boy, you sound like an old white woman. No, I done fell on the floor. No, ain't nobody to help me. What you over there doing to that baby? Go ahead, man. Zephaniah 3 and 15.
They saying, who have taken away thy judgment.
Taking away that what?
Thy judgment.
Taking away the sin from you.
He is cast out thy enemy.
There go the devil. There go death. Hold on. And he said the last enemy that'll be destroyed is who? Yeah, go ahead.
And the king of Yasharal, even Yahuah, is in the midst of thee.
And didn't he just say he would dwell in the midst? Go ahead.
Thou shalt not see evil anymore.
You should not see what?
Evil anymore.
That's why we dwelling in the land where unwalled villages and Gog and Magog get crashed before they even get close. Go ahead.
In that day it shall be said unto Jerusalem, fear thou not. And to Zion, let not thy hands be slack. Yahuah, thy Elohim, in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save.
He will what?
He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy.
He will rejoice. See that again. With what?
With joy.
Uh-huh.
He will rest in love.
He will rest in what?
In his love.
So they go this again. These are fruits that's going to be in this place.
He will joy over thee with singing.
With who?
With singing. He will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee.
Remember what it said? Oh, no, that's something different. He said he'll gather them that are sorrowful for what?
To the solemn assembly.
What's the solemn assembly? Tabernacle. We went over that, right? The last day of the feast. Go ahead.
He say, you will gather them that are sorrowful to the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden.
A burden.
Behold, at the time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that is that halted, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes.
Before you. So at this point right here, now your captivity has been turned back. Remember, he's steady telling us. Come at Ezekiel 36 and 35. He's steady telling you what he gonna do. That he gonna make Jerusalem like the Garden of Eden, and that's how he gonna rebuild her. That's been destroyed and been wasted, and plant his people there. But most importantly, to plant the sons of God there, that they can eat of that tree of life. That was the plan from the jump street. He didn't want to keep it from me, but he had to for a little while. He didn't know what to do with it. Go ahead.
And they shall say, this land that was desolate has become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited. Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I am Yahuah. Build the ruined places and plant that which.
Why? Hold on, let me ask you a question. Why would the heathen know that he is Yahuah? Why would they know? You should know, because we didn't already talk. Why would they know? Because he done already went to war with them. He been cracking them upside their head. They definitely gonna know. Go ahead.
And I Yahuah have spoken it and will do it. Thus says Yahuah Elohim, I will yet for this be inquired of the house of Yasharal to do it for them. I will increase them with men like a flock.
He's gonna increase them with men like a what?
Like a flock.
What else?
As the Kadash flock and as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast.
In a solemn what?
Solemn feast.
And again, what feast is that?
Tabernacle.
And what you got to do for tabernacles? All the men got to do what?
Appear.
They got to appear. So he said, I'm going to increase it with men to appear before him. Go ahead. That's the end of it.
The waste city shall be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am Yahuah.
Be filled. See, this is our hope. This is a promise. You realize that, right? He's promising you something. Jeremiah 33. 33 and 10. Well, you having a bad day, ain't you, Eugene?
It says, thus says Yahuah, again there shall be heard in this place which ye shall say to be desolate without a man and without a beast, even in the cities of Yehudah and in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate without man and without inhabitant and without beast. The voice of joy.
The voice of what?
Of joy.
I want y'all to pause, right? And I want you to think. Now, I say I do this quite regularly. He's hearing voices. Better hope that y'all, that's your voice he heard. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't written there that it say the voice of joy and the voice of gladness. This man is getting a vision from Yah, so he's hearing voice. It's the same way. Didn't John get a vision of seeing a multitude which nobody could number with palms in their hands, with white robes, praising Yahuah? He got a vision of that. He saw it. He hearing that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't something you just supposed to read and be like, you just read, oh, the voice of joy. He's literally hearing that. You literally could have been one of the people he heard at the time that he received this vision. Continue from the top. Jeremiah 33 and 11.
It said the voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bride,
The voice of Yahusha,
and the voice of the bride,
the voice of Yasharal,
the voice of them that shall say, praise Yahuwah of hosts, for Yahuwah is good, for his mercy endures forever.
and of
And
them.
of them shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of Yahuwah.
For why?
For I will cause the return of the captivity of the land, as at the first.
Make it like it was at the beginning. Make it like the Garden of Eden, like it was at the beginning. Go ahead.
Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, again in this place which is desolate, without a man and without a beast, and in all the cities thereof shall be a habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down.
Pause. Remember how you mentioned like what was in Garden of Eden, beasts? You notice he always keep talking about how he say this without man and without beast. Don't you know in Isaiah 65 it talk about how the animals would be there? And that they wouldn't attack nobody? And that the wolf,
Lie down together.
they'll lie down together. But then he said they'll lie down, that the shepherd, a habitation of shepherd, causing their flocks to lie down. John 10 and 5. And we talked about this John 10 last night. That boy dropping many words on you, boy.
It says, in a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. This therefore spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things that were which he spake unto them. Then Yahushua said again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief cometh not, but to steal, to kill, and to destroy.
That's good, right? So Yahushua coming through for what cause and for what purpose? To be that shepherd that calls you to come into the Garden of Eden and do what? Lie down, like it said in Jeremiah. And if you lying down, what you coming to? You coming to rest. Let's end at Hebrews 4 and 7. At the end of the day, I want my mama, and I don't care what you got going on.
It said again, he limited a certain day, saying to David, today, after so long time, as it is said, today, if you will hear his voice.
Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart.
For if you had given them rest,
if he had given them rest,
then would he not afterwards have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of Elohim. For he that is entered into his rest, he has also ceased from his own works, as Elohim did from his.
Go ahead.
Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief.
So don't get put out of the garden because of the example of unbelief. Don't get ejected out of Jerusalem because of the example of unbelief. But hearken to this man's words, lest your heart be hard. So, hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. We'll stop right there. Yeah, so some of the things that we sit back to get at it that you should be looking forward to if you believe. Like we didn't read the verse, but he say we say that we are strangers and nomads. He said the persons who says that declare plainly that they seek a country. You know what I'm saying? Where Elohim is not ashamed to be called their Elohim, and they're not ashamed to be called his people. A heavenly place. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even get all the parts in Revelation where he talk about it coming down from heaven. We read it last night, though. Tabernacle of Elohim dwelling with men. You know what I'm saying? Fountains of living water, the tree of life. Some of that stuff we read last night. These are all the things that are contained in this place that only his sons and daughters can receive. If you have a hope for that, then that's why we sent Matt looking at that. He said, if it's marvelous in your eyes that he would gather you up from all these people and plant you back in that land, don't you think it'd be marvelous in his? You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there telling you like, yeah, man, your children be in the streets. Won't be no complaining. This is the place that we trying to be. But I bless everybody at our house in y'all name of Yahuah who on the stream. You who are willing, we pick it up on the next one. I know we got to get out these people's establishment, though.